don't know what that intro was. I do know it's from a song. But anyways, welcome back to another episode of What Did I Miss with Dennis Styles. On this show, I'll be talking about what will I be talking about? I just blanked right there because I talked about redoing the intro. But anyways, on this show, I'll be talking about all the things not on my main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth, from movie and gaming reviews to movie and gaming news to comic books, anime, and anything else I feel like yapping about. Episodes drop weekly. There'll be time codes below to jump around to any part of news or the main topic you want to get into. And I think I said that too soon. But so this week, okay, hold on. Before we get into the spiel, the news summary, before we get into the news. Sorry. I know this episode's late. It's excuses. I know. I was gonna explain myself, but yeah, it's just excuses. But yeah, man, just gotta lock in. So yeah, my bad for this episode being late. I'm recording on Tuesday. Usually I record on Sunday. So yeah, and try to get the pod out by Monday, which I usually do hit. But yeah, so yeah, recording Tuesday. I'm gonna just stay up tonight, and I got some other stuff to do after record. But I'm gonna stay up tonight, get the pod edited, and get it out by Wednesday morning. So sorry for being late. And I was like, should I just skip this week? But no, I didn't want to skip this week. But then also, that would have made next week's episode long as hell, and don't want to do that. So yeah, this week, man, the gaming industry is in shambles, man, with layoffs. Just being running amok in the gaming industry, really everywhere. But the gaming industry has been just suffering a lot from layoffs, and Xbox is the new victim of the week. So yeah, we'll be getting into that. And it's already been talked to death already. I don't think I'm gonna shine any new light on it, but we've been talking about layoffs and whatnot. So just keeping that going. And then for anyone who doesn't know what's going on. So yeah, and then Sony is also in the doghouse after fixing Helldivers 2. There was a big controversy that I talked about last week, and then literally, after I recorded the episode, it got resolved like kind of either the next day or like shortly after I recorded. So following up on that, but there's some stuff that isn't really being, I don't see a lot of people talking about, but yeah, it's they fixed it, but they didn't fix it. But we'll get into it. And then on the other side of things, the Superman suit for Superman Legacy was revealed, and we got a first look at the Batman the Caped Crusader animated series going on Amazon Prime, I believe. But yeah, we'll get into it. So that looks really interesting. And on the Marvel side of things, we got casting for Galactus and Hugh Jackman's role potentially continuing in the MCU ? And the main topic for this week is Star Wars Tales of the Empire. So yeah, a spinoff from Tales of the Jedi, which I was looking forward to, but we'll get into it. And then now I'm supposed to say it. There will be time codes below, so feel free to jump around to whatever piece of news or to the main topic that you want to. And let's just get into it, man, because I gotta go to my little brother's baseball game after this. So, and I had to put in I had the show notes ready, but then the news for today, Disney has like this event going on, so a bunch of news about some upcoming, not like a bunch of crazy news, but some news about some upcoming projects, some release dates came up, and then some other stuff, some trailers and whatnot dropped today. So yeah, so I came home and had to add in the new batch of news, and I just didn't want to like that stuff all come out today and then don't talk about it till next week. But anyways, what did I miss last week? So I didn't really talk about the Challengers cast. I was only talking about like Zendaya, so I wanted to highlight the cast, and which I usually like to do and do during the reviews. But sometimes I'm just like so into the movie or just talking about it, I just kind of don't really highlight it, and I do like to highlight it because people have good performances, and I really like the performances of everyone's performance in this movie. I just was really talking about Zendaya, but who is playing Art is Mike Faced. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Who's playing Patrick Josh O'Connor. And everyone else was great, but those were like the main three, including Zendaya. And I didn't really talk about the actors for Art and Patrick. But anyways, if you haven't seen The Challengers, go check it out for show. I think it's one of my favorite movies of the year. So if you want to know why, go listen to the review from last week. And then I was talking about box office for The Challengers, and so I was late talking about the challenges because I wasn't gonna talk about it, but then I liked it so much that I did end up reviewing it. And I was talking about box office numbers, and so I saw it the week after it came out. But I was talking about when I was talking about box office numbers, I was talking about the weekend that it dropped and not the weekend that I seen it. But so it had a $55 million budget, and they say, for movie math, just double the budget to account for marketing. And so that's 110. And so it crossed 68 million at the worldwide box office. So it's on its way to be profitable. So hopefully it does get a nice little run in theaters and doesn't get pulled super quickly like some of the movies this year, aka Monkey Man. I feel like Dune was in the movies for a while, but I feel like it got pulled a little bit too soon to be on streaming. But so yeah, it's getting to its budget and making it profitable. So that's cool. Just like to see movies that I enjoy do well, And then last week I was talking about Exhibit and Pimp My Ride, and so I guess he posted an image on Instagram, and it was like kind of inconspicuous, well, not inconspicuous, but kind of like not clear, and like kind of like it's like, okay, it's Exhibit, you're posting a car, and it was like, we're returning back to something, and it was like clearly insinuating that Pimp My Ride is coming back. And so then, but I guess, so I was looking this up. I was gonna make a clip for like TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts and whatever. So I was looking it up to try to find the post, and then I guess he like came back a couple days later and replied to the post, like under the post he made, and was like, "Oh, this isn't related to Pimp My Ride at all," or something. So it's like, brother, what? Like, how are you gonna? And maybe it could still be, and maybe he just jumped the gun with announcing it, and so had to backtrack. But I don't know. So if it's not Pimp My Ride, bro, that was a crazy pump fake, and you're kind of, I don't fuck with you for that. Not really, but so yeah, usually we'll start with like the movies and show news and DC, Marvel, all that stuff. But we got a bit to get through with the gaming, the Xbox stuff. So we'll start with the gaming this week first. So basically, just to honestly, because I sent so many articles to myself and everything, but basically just to condense this and so we can just get through this. Microsoft, okay, I am not the person to come for this type of stuff. So if you want like a more in-depth like breakdown on this, and actually someone knows what they're talking about, don't listen to this. This is just what I've been seeing and me just outside looking in and what I pieced together. And then also, other people have summarized it well in what I'm about to talk about. But anyways, so Microsoft has closed down. So they bought Bethesda Studios, which, make Fallout, Skyrim, Dishonored, a bunch of things. And so basically, I just found this out actually. So I didn't know, like, okay, so you have a game studio like Bethesda, which make all those games, but then they have like subsidiary like studios inside them. So like inside of them would be a studio like Redfall, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog Studios, right? I didn't know that. I just thought like, anyways, so within Bethesda, Microsoft closed down 3 major studios, and I think a fourth one is like being shifted and reconsolidated, the word, like just moving personnel around to other studios. And so this was a really big deal because they bought Bethesda and just closing it. So basically, Tango Gameworks, they made Hi-Fi Rush, and I talked about this game before on the pod, and I still got to check it out. But it was a success. It was a great hit. A lot of people liked it. It was unique. It was something that Xbox desperately needed, and they ended up closing the studio that made that. And then so they just been super flip floppy with their what they say to the public, and then what they end up doing behind closed doors, like closing down studios. Like they said in shortly after all this like news about the studios closing down, Matt Booty or some shit, fucking Phil Spencer, someone came out and said that they needed more single player driven games that like are unique and are prestigious and bring in a lot of awards. And that's what Hi-Fi Rush was. It literally was a single player unique game that brought in a lot of prestigious awards. And so it's just like, bro, you niggas need to get your shit together. But a great summary, like on why all these closures are happening within Microsoft. And it's because Microsoft is one of the, if I'm not mistaken, one of the richest companies in the world. And so Xbox like has been kind of for a while just something that they can risk money on. Like it's like the money that they were pumping in was minuscule to the profit they were pulling in overall. But Microsoft bought Activision, so Call of Duty and stuff, for $70 billion, and they bought Bethesda for a pretty penny as well. And so they bought Activision, and so now you have this $70 billion. I don't. That's not the right word, but you have this $70 billion hole, and now Xbox is expected to start filling that hole. And one of the ways that they were looking at to do that, or ways to, and this was probably a little bit, but it was Game Pass. And so Game Pass is like a subscription service, and I don't have Game Pass, so I'm trying to like explain what it is. It's like you get a bunch of not AAA, but like, for instance, and this is just purely for example, like if what is something new coming out? The new Call of Duty. I guess this is an example they're playing with right now, like Microsoft. That would come on Game Pass day one, And so like you're paying what, I don't know the price. I'm just throwing a random number out there, fucking $20 a month. And then you're getting, all these other lists of catalog games, like, and there's other, new games on there as well. And so you're paying this subscription, you're like getting all these games. And so what the problem is, like, you're losing, if you put Call of Duty on Game Pass day one, you're losing a bunch of sales just off that. And so right now they're kind of speculating, like, what should they do? Should they put the new COD on Game Pass? Like, they're going to lose sales. And so it's just like they banked on the wrong thing. And now they're just expected. So Xbox is expected to fill that $70 billion hole, but then doing it like efficiently. So now they have to cut out all the fat and when Xbox was acquiring all these studios, they were saying like to the public, oh, we have the money and the time to nurture these studios, let them grow, let them pursue their creative visions and da-da-da-da. Like they said all this stuff, and now they're like kind of backtracking, makes everything look bad. And so this is just like, Xbox is they just need to get it together. And so there's like a bunch of flip-floppy statements. There's like probably I think there was a documentary not too long ago. Like, so Microsoft is not planning to shut down. So this is by them, or I guess this was an article, but this was about what Microsoft said. So Microsoft is not planning to shut down Redfall studio Arcane Austin. Xbox says it should have done a better job at supporting the Bethesda studio. So basically, I guess like Microsoft made them. So Redfall is like a live service multiplayer. It looked terrible. And it flopped hard. But Redfall or the Arcane Austin, or what, that studio that's not their forte, I don't think. And so I guess Microsoft kind of forced them to make this game, because live service is like, that's like, live service games are the bread and butter, not bread and butter, but that is the ideal game for the suits, the investors and stuff. Something that can constantly make money and something that has like, consistent numbers. The live service model is what the corporate side of gaming want to work so bad. And I'm not even saying that all live service games are bad, but they just have to make sense for the game you're making. Like fucking, for instance, Suicide Squad. That did not make sense to make a Suicide Squad game live service. That did not make sense. And then you take a studio, Suicide Squad rant, you take a studio who specialize in these impactful single player narratives, and then you make them make a live service games that is fucking ass. That, bro, I don't want to get into it. But yeah, so it's just like, it has to make sense. And so, it can work, but yeah. What was I saying? Oh, the flip-floppy stuff. So this user, Pat, stares at, he said, hey, fuck, sorry, I was moving my mic when I said that, so sorry if it was like, I'm trying to adjust it. Let me see. Hey, remember when Microsoft contracted out a CG trailer for a game they had already decided to internally was canceled months prior, but failed to tell the team making it. Then had people standing around puffing smoke up people's asses at the event about how great it was gonna be. So it's like they have a record of doing shit like this. Let's see. This is from the, I think, Twitter account Poorly Aged Things. Microsoft pleased with Hi-Fi Rush success, plan to reinvest in Tango Gameworks. And honestly, this stuff might have been the plan, but then you get just like, you get the final word from the higher ups. So it's like they're just vetoing it. And also with these layoffs, they're still happening. So for Xbox, I mean, they're still happening overall, but like for Xbox, they're not done. So they're just gonna continue gutting shit even after closing these Bethesda studios. Let's see. So this is from an article. I don't know where it's reviewed by. Okay, Microsoft spent 5 years buying up studios only to turn around and decide it doesn't have the bandwidth to run them all. Speaking about the closure more broadly, Booty said that the company's studios have been spread too thin, like peanut butter on bread, and that the leaders across the division had felt understaffed. They decided to close these studios to free up resources elsewhere, he said. Jill Braff, head of ZeniMax Studios, said in the town hall that she hoped the reorganization would allow the division, which also develops Fallout and Doom, to put more focus on fewer projects. It's hard to support 9 studios all across the world with a lean central team with ever-growing plate of things to do, she said, according to audio of the meeting reviewed by Bloomberg. So yeah, another example of them going back on their word. And I think I have 2 more. There's probably more, but let's see. This was about the smaller games. We need smaller games that give us prestige awards, said Matt Booty, head of Xbox Gaming Studios and Microsoft Town Hall meeting or whatever. And then close down Tango. I think this. Oh, so this is the Hi-Fi Rush, one of the developers. Not enough, and it's a picture of all of the Hi-Fi Rush awards that Hi-Fi Rush won. Sorry, I don't know why I say ran. Xbox has shut down the studios more. Someone said Xbox has shut down more studios than released games this year. Let that sink in. I don't know how true that is, but that's kind of crazy if true. Yeah, just like everyone around the industry seems to be rocked by this. I read the summary. So that summary that I was reading, that was from like a veteran insider, and here's another one. FTC tried to block the Microsoft acquisition due to a risk of suppressing competition, either by controlled monopoly or by buying and dismantling studios, by the way. And that's exactly what they're doing. That's from Del Walker. And that summary that I read, actually I want to highlight who said that. That was from Brad Hildebrand, an ex-Microsoft / EA guy. Yeah, so let's see. Another vet developer said video games are an entertainment culture industry, and your business as a corporation is to take care of your artists / entertainers and help them create value for you. That was an Arcane Studios developer. I don't have the name up. Sorry. Let's see. So I guess Microsoft had a $375 million payout to, it says, to known dog scum Bobby Kotick. And that could have paid for the estimated salaries for both Arcane, Austin, and Tango Gameworks employees for combined for the next 17 and a half years. I feel like this just goes to show how bloated CEO salaries are. PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass are not growing at all, just 1% growth in the last year. And what's funny about this is PlayStation, when Game Pass was coming out, people were putting pressure on PlayStation to do something similar. And they kind of did a little bit, but they just didn't commit as much as Xbox did. And that was for the better. It seems like I said, yeah. So they're not done cutting costs. Okay. And what's also interesting is they shut these studios down. Like, it wasn't an option to sell them, Like we seen, or I've talked about it before. Who Embracer Group? They had like a bunch of studios that they sold off. So was that not an option to sell them off, or yeah? So Activision purchase has ramped up scrutiny on Xbox. So like I said, they were relatively under Xbox was relatively under Microsoft's radar, and now they're on it with that huge buy with Activision spending a hell of money. So this is from Janicki. Hi-Fi Rush Studio, Tango Gameworks, and Arcane Austin were closed due to Microsoft forcing ZeniMax to consolidate. ZeniMax ended up choosing to let go the studios that were pitching new projects and trying to hire new staff. So this is via Jason Schreier. I've seen his name pop up a couple times. I think it's just an insider, I believe. Reporter at Bloomberg. Okay. Tango were in the process of pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2. Matt Booty praised Hi-Fi Rush on Wednesday, but did not specify why they were shut down. So, yeah, Booty says studios had been spread too thin. Okay, I said that. Tango and Arcane Austin were looking to hire additional staff as they pitch new projects. The ZeniMax to focus more on fewer projects, more Xbox cost cutting is expected. So, yeah, it seems like, they just didn't want them to spend more money. So that makes so much sense, because when you look at what's being said and then what the actions being took, you get this high praise for Hi-Fi Rush. Oh, it did this, it did these awards, it sold well, whatever the case, and then you get them closing down. It's like, why? And so I feel like this is like what makes the most sense to me, because like, why else? Like, there's literally no other reason. Let's see. Before its closure, Arcane had been, so this was the Redfall developers, something that they don't specialize in, been looking to return to its roots by pitching a new single-player immersive sim game, such as a new entry to the Dishonored series, according to the people familiar. And then this, I think, again, reiterating the another point, the reason that Tango was axed was explicitly because they had released a successful video game and were pitching a sequel that would have necessitated new hires. That's not speculation. That's literally what we're being told. You can't reform the leadership that thinks like this. Fuck, I wish I would have had where that's from, but I don't for some reason. So then I think I brought this up before, but Nintendo, the Wii U. The Wii U didn't sell well and was a flop, and they were about to be rocked by a bunch of layoffs, but instead the CEOs took a pay cut and redistributed their salaries to employees in the company so they didn't have to do layoffs. So it's like, damn, can we see some shit like that? And then also, going back to the Tango was axed explicitly because they released a successful video game. So what the fuck is going on? So you can't release a bad game like Redfall and a game that you don't specialize in and supposedly was forced by Xbox to make, and that's not a game or a type of game you specialize in. You specialize in, what did it say, immersive sim games like Dishonored and Prey. And then if you stumble a bit with that flop, you can't fucking recuperate and get your feet feet back under you to make a fucking banger. You get fucking just axed immediately, and then you make a fucking successful game with Hi-Fi Rush, and then you get axed too. So it's just like, you make a good game, you make a bad game, it doesn't matter, you're fucked, buddy. And it's just like, I've been seeing people like say like, how does that make developers feel? Like, you can't, like, you're just come into work and you're working on something, and then like, it's like you have the possibility you could be working on the fucking next banger, and you just your place is not secured, like whether it's a banger or a flop. And so that just that must cause so much morale problems. Like, who the fuck wants to, like, people are gonna be dragging their feet and shit, like, but then at the same time, it's just like, okay, if you do come in and you drag your feet, you're gonna get fired because of that, because your product is not gonna be fucking of quality. And it's just like, okay, if you fucking work hard and push yourself to the limit, like, you may be not getting rewarded for that properly. So it's just like, damn, bro, it's like, where it's just so fucked right now. Like, you're literally everywhere. Like, you have fucking Israel fucking committing genocide on Palestine. Like, bro, like, come on, bro. It's just so fucked everywhere, bro. The Congo's in shambles. Like, our economy's in shambles. That's why, just like, bro, it's just, you just got to keep it pushing, bro. Just trying to find stuff that makes you like happy. I guess I don't know where that point was going, but it's just like everywhere's fucked. Let's see. And then also, I guess so. This I guess further speaks to the Xbox brand being cooked. There was, let me see. Hold on, where is this from? So I think this was from a Bloomberg article, but they're fucking paywalled. So this is, I spoke to two former longtime Xbox employees separately, and both of them lamented the current state of the business. One told me prior to this week's awful studio closures, I had a lengthy conversations with a bunch of Xbox founders, and we all came to the same conclusion. It's no longer Xbox, but Microsoft Gaming. I don't know if that's official, and that's probably them just like, saying that's what it feels like, but I feel like just speaks to like how cooked Xbox is. Which really honestly sucks because like Microsoft needs competition. And I don't mean, and Nintendo's doing well, but like they don't make those type of, they don't make the games that like Xbox and PlayStation makes. And so it's like if you have Xbox bowing out of the hardware race, so it's like they're giving up on the Xbox console. You have them bowing out of the exclusivity race, which is probably changing up anyway because Final Fantasy didn't sell well, and this could just be this situation. But now the next Final Fantasy game is going to be multi-platform, which honestly just like makes sense. Like I feel like exclusives are going to slowly start going away, especially with a lot of PlayStation exclusives being ported to PC now. It's just like there's no. And especially in the sense if Xbox really backs out of the hardware race, because exclusives were just for like, pushing sales of the console. So it's like, and then I don't know, you just have the cooked state of the gaming industry and everyone trying to wring out the maximum profits. It's like kind of a no-brainer to, start, making these exclusive multi-platform. Like you're gonna get more bang for your buck, So it's just like, yeah. But how do I feel about exclusives? I feel like, it's like, it's kind of whatever. Maybe they're a little anti-consumer, I guess, but it's like they never really bothered me too much. Like I've always had a PlayStation. All the games that I've end up like drawing and gravitating to are like the type of games PlayStation makes. Those third person over the shoulder type of deals. But there's just some Xbox games that I felt like I missed out on, like Halo, Gears, I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. There's probably, I guess, Hi-Fi Rush, but then that's coming over to PlayStation, or it's already on PlayStation, so it's just like, and then it's like, I was playing Halo, like, I got my fill from Halo when I went to a friend's house, like, I got my fill of Gears when I got to my friend's house, so it's just like, I missed out, but then not really, so it's like, I don't know. Yeah, that was kind of a nothing point, but, yeah, so it's like, does supporting your workers help long-term, like developing these studios? Because I guess here's some Capcom stuff. Capcom announced a salary increase for all employees this year. Includes so this is in 2024. So while everyone's just making cuts, Capcom is boosting their employee salaries. As cuts and closures batter the industry, Capcom posts its seventh consecutive year of record high profits and says the eighth is just around the corner. Let me see. I think those are only two images. Yeah, those are only two. So it's just like, bro, I think the point was being with these were studios that maybe I don't think made like just straight out, knocked out of the park games on their like, first two games or so. But then they were able to, develop, grow, and they end up being breadwinners. So it's just like, bro, it's all right, let's move on, bro. Cause I'm gonna get pissed off. So we have some so Helldivers, the controversy. So it was fixed. I talked about it last week. If I don't really feel like going back over that again, so if you want to know about that, you've probably heard of it. Listen to last week's episode, or just skip to the Helldivers part or whatever. So they got review bombed and 200K negative reviews on Steam in 3 days, and then so after they fixed the problem, I guess I'll just quickly summarize it. So Helldivers was released in countries that didn't have PSN, and it was able to do that because it was going through Steam, and the game was such a banger. It usually would require you to make a PSN account to play, but the servers were and everything was just so overwhelming and stressed. They disabled that but they were being super shady with the wording and the verbiage of it, everything, and so they made it seem like you didn't need a PSN PSN account at all. And so now, like a week or two ago, they were like, okay, yeah, now you're gonna need a PSN account. And so a bunch of players, well, one, the player base didn't like that, making a PSN account for whatever reason. I mean, I kind of understand. I don't really. It's like there's multiple games you have to make an account for, fucking EA, like Ubisoft. Yeah, so I didn't really, see the point. But then, the problem was some countries don't even have PSN available. And so it was just like, okay, well, those people are fucked. And so basically they reversed the decision to have a PSN account to play the game, right? After the backlash, but they started giving out refunds and refunding the game in the countries that PSN that they sold it to, and the countries that didn't have PSN. And so that's I guess the new controversy. So it's like, why would you marketed this game worldwide, sold this game out, and then you pull it away from people who put in fucking hours and hours on the game? So it's like, that's not cash money. And so then what is another thing going into that? Ghost of Tsushima. So Ghost of Tsushima was a single player game strictly, no online stuff at all. So it's something like that. So I don't actually know how Steam and PSN games work, since it's something relatively new, and I don't have a fucking PC. So I don't think you've had to make because all of the games that have released on, exclusive PlayStation exclusives on PC have been single player games like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, God of War Ragnarok, things of that nature have all been single player. So it's like you never really encountered this problem. But like I said, Ghost of Tsushima was a single player game, but then well after its release, it introduced the online mode, which it's pretty all right. I haven't touched in a while, but I was liking when I played. But anyways, they released the online mode, and so now Ghost of Tsushima, which was purely single player, didn't need to make a PSN account, and it was released on Steam, is getting refunded now the same way Helldivers is, with the countries that don't have PSN. So they're just doing that world all over. So I don't know. So what's interesting, and you can't play the single player version, just like strictly that. So what's interesting is this going to be the new thing going forward, or first off, before I get into that, this is like scumbag behavior all the way. So like, why are you advertising the game worldwide and then pull it away? That shit's ass. But is this going to be a new thing going forward? Are they going to be more transparent with this? Like, what is the case? So yeah. And then speaking of Helldivers, though, I think, hold on. Oh, Helldivers has sold 12 million units in the past, and it's let's start that over. Helldivers 2 has sold 12 million. Jesus fuck. Peter Pepper picked tobacco, pickle peppers. Helldivers 2 has sold 12 million units in its first 12 weeks of release, surpassing the record set by God of War Ragnarok. So I don't know if these numbers include the worldwide, or is this pulling the game from those? So it's just like, what are these numbers? What do these numbers actually look like? And then the last PlayStation thing is they're getting a new president. This doesn't really mean much to me, but it seems good. So Sony names PlayStation Herman Holst and Hideki Nishino as joint CEO, succeeding Jim Ryan. So now they're bringing in two roles for the one role, which seems like the smart play, because Holst is CEO of the newly named Studio Business Group, which includes all of PlayStation's first-party teams, plus covers the development of PlayStation IP onto other mediums such as TV and film. Nishino will lead the platform business group. What? Studio Business Group and Platform. All right, whatever. These are weird-ass names. Which includes console hardware, technology, accessories, PSN, and third-party relations. So, honestly, that seems like, well, this remains to be seen. I mean, it seems like on paper it's smart, because all of that shit was up to Jim Ryan. That's crazy. And I just honestly found out who Jim Ryan is. Like, I didn't know who the fucking CEO of PlayStation was before I started talking about this stuff. So I don't know if he has a bad rap. So I've seen maybe some people say some bad things about him, but I'm honestly not sure. But yeah, I mean, well, this remains to be seen. So I guess I don't have like too much fucking to say about this, honestly. But yeah, let's keep it pushing though. So the layoff purge sadly continues. Square Enix is laying off U.S. and European employees as a part of its company restructuring. The number affected is unknown for now. So more layoffs. Wow, this is actually some. All right, so CI Games, Lords of the Fallen Sniper Ghost Warrior is laying off 30 more developers in new layoffs. This comes after already laying off 10% of the studio less than 4 months ago. So yeah, fucking yes. So layoffs are fucking rife. Is that a word, rife? I feel like heard people say that, rife. Especially if something undesirable or harmful of common occurrence, widespread. Okay, yeah. Used it right. So I always be looking up words because like big words, I just hear them in context and I was like, okay, I think I know what that means, like within context of this sentence. But yeah, anyways, eat some more fuckings. We'll get to some good gaming news in a second. This is the last like shitty piece of news. EA CEO says they have a real hunger to start using generative AI as quickly as possible on their games. We believe that more than 50% of our development process will be positively impacted. This isn't ghoulish at all. So AI. This type of AI specifically is a no-no, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions as well, especially in the like artistic community, because using generative AI, it has to pull. It can't just create something by itself. It has to pull stuff from other artists to make that thing. So it scours the internet and pulls a bunch of different artists' styles and copies them and puts them combines various things and makes an image. So you're stealing people's work to make your work. So generative AI is ass. But there are other AI, that is used in gaming development and in other parts of the entertainment industry, like, movies, shows, and whatever, that do actually benefit the process and is used more as a tool. So it just needs regulation, and this shit is just ghoulish because, like, not only are you just cutting out possible concept artists, but you're just, like I said, bro, it just needs regulation. It's just like, it's always, the CEOs businesses always trying to cut corners and hey, man. But it's like, at the end of the day, like, if you can incorporate this, and I don't think so, with this specific type of AI, but like, hypothetically, quote unquote, if you can incorporate it in ways that it's not stealing other people's art, then hey, do your Dougie, I guess. But actually, even that, no, because there's a really, really good point I read with like AI in the movie industry, and it was just like, some of the more quote unquote menial, like, miscellaneous or trivial roles that, can be picked up by AI shouldn't, because you're getting new entry people, you're getting new hires, you're getting like, people who are at the bottom of the totem pole doing this stuff, and it builds their skills to further their skills to do, to do other stuff and further themselves in the career that they're in. And so if you're taking that away and giving it to AI, a lot of entry-level people are losing these chances to build on these basic skills, So it's like, it's stuff like that. It's like a trickle-down effect. It's like you say is, what I was saying, like, oh, if they can use this in a way that, is not stealing art, it's like, okay, that part is fixed, but then now you're creating another problem with like, this trickle down effect. So it's like not always that, it's you don't always see the problem right away. So yeah, that's not on that. Let's get into some actually fucking good news. Been yapping about some fucking negative shit. Goddamn. Animal Well. So this is this game I just saw it pop up on my TL and it just had a bunch of good reviews and I was like, oh, I'll check this out. I've been trying to check out, more indie game, more like indie games, AA games that just trying to expand my, because I do a good job. I feel like I do a good job with when it comes to movies, just watching different things, not just strictly MCU superhero cape shit or fucking just strictly Star Wars or strictly action movies. I try to switch it up quite a bit as much as I can. And so, I try to do the same with music, games, and honestly, any artistic stuff, honestly. But yeah, so it was like, okay, this looks cool. But apparently, so there's this YouTuber named Video Game Donkey, and I'm subscribed to him. He makes really good videos. He has a good basically his YouTube channel is, he's like a reviewer, but he makes other videos, but like he's mainly a reviewer, and he has very good insight of, you know, what makes a game good. Like he has very good points. Like he has very what am I trying to say? Makes good points. There's another he's well knowledgeable, I guess, about the subject of gaming and what makes a gaming some like games good. And so he started, I don't know if he started or if he joined. I think he started. So he made his own publishing company. So it's like, you know, they publish these, they grab, kind of like what A24 does. So, you know, they scope out a movie that they think fits their brand, fits their vision, and think that they think will do well, and they grab it, they buy it up, whatever the case, and they publish it. And so that's what he did. So I guess, and I didn't hear about this at all before this game. Like I didn't even know the publishing company. I didn't know or distributing company. I don't know. One of the two, same difference. I don't know. I didn't know about this at all until like after, you know, this game started to get good reviews and whatnot. And so a lot of people, when he did this, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, Donkey's just being fucking arrogant. His head's being too big. He's just like, you know, he doesn't know." And I guess like, you know, the internet was saying that, but I guess like, what's it called? People in the industry were saying that too, and so they're like, yeah, he's not gonna do well. So the first game that he published was Animal Well, and it got like 9s out of 10, 10 out of 10s everywhere. So I wanted to check it out, and I was like, okay, I'll check this out eventually. But then I was just on PlayStation Plus, and it was free on there. So I was like, oh fuck, I'll check it out. And so it's like more of like it's like a platformer type game. So if you imagine something like Metroid Prime, like, you know, Samus, like those games, you just play, I don't know what the fuck you are, like you're this like little clay ball thing, and it's just like it's like a platformer. There's a lot of hidden areas and whatnot, but I'm really enjoying it a lot. I only played about like 30 or so minutes, but I was enjoying what I played so far. So yeah, go check that out. I'm liking it a lot. Review, I don't know, it's kind of hard for me to review games. I mean, I just recently got a lot more time on my hands. I'll probably get to that in Pondering My Orb, but yeah, so maybe. So the first teaser for Homelander in Mortal Kombat 1 dropped, and I think so they're kind of like hiding, because Anthony Starr, the guy who plays Homelander, didn't come back to voice Homelander, which kind of sucked because, you know, they got John Cena for Peacemaker. Who else was in this season? Basically, they're just getting, you know, and it was just, he was like kind of the only voice actor not to come back, but the voice sounds pretty spot on. We didn't get any combat at all. We got a peek at his so we didn't, like, you know, get to see his moveset and his combos and stuff. This shit was, of course, wants to fucking start loading, right? Like, bro, you were just working fine. But I think we did get a peek at his fatality, or at least one or two of them, maybe. Like, why is Twitter so fucking shit? Like, bro, you're just letting me scroll through the video. Now you want to, like, lock up. Anyways, so I think his fatality has maybe just something to do with when he, in season 1, when he did the plane shit. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess we'll be getting a trailer here soon. Rumor for potential. So the Switch 2 is on the horizon. Some potential specs for it. Some rough. So rumor. Potential Nintendo Switch 2 specs via a publicly accessible shipping log. Very rough estimates placed in. This is from Kami, so a Twitter user named Kami. Gaming news and discussion. I actually get quite a few things for him. I think. Fuck, I gotta sneeze, or it's like fuck. All right, you know when you like are about to sneeze. Like get that tickle in your nose. But anyways, so very rough estimates place the Switch 2 between the PS4 Pro and Xbox Series S in docked mode. Before DLSS, I don't know what that is. Some type of hardware. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So it says PS4 Pro. I do not know what the fucking Xbox Series S is. They made those names so goddamn complicated. Like after the 360, bro, them boys was just chucking up names. Like they went to the Xbox One. Yeah. Anyways, branding issue. Specs. So 12 gig RAM. So okay, these are kind of mean like a little bit of nothing to me. Like until it puts it into layman terms, like comparing it to like the PS4 Pro and Xbox, like that's where you get me. So the specs I'm about to list, maybe you understand it. I for sure don't. And I'll understand this stuff when I get a fucking PC. But yeah, so RAM, 12 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of internal storage, 1536 CUDA cores, 48 tensor cores, 12 RT cores, Ampere architecture with features back supported from Ada, 8 times AM. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't know any of this shit. Docked between PS4 and PS. Okay, set that. I'm trying to see if there's any more PlayStation. RAM slower than PS5 in Xbox Series XS in speed, but more capacity than Xbox Series S. It says XSX dash S and then XSS. Like what the like Xbox? What the fuck, bro? Should have 10.511 gigs of RAM available to games going by the Switch One RAM's allotment for its OS. Okay, so yeah, Switch 2 specs. I was holding off to getting a Switch because I'm okay. I back it up. I want to Switch super bad because what's it called? I want to play Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I just been holding off of getting it because I just know that's gonna be a crazy time consumer, and I'm just gonna fucking waste a lot of time playing fucking Zelda and all the other Nintendo exclusives that I want to play. Fuck, they have Ultimate Alliance 3. I forgot about that. I heard like mixed things about that game, but I still want to check it out. What's it called? So yeah, I just been holding out on that, and then I heard about the Switch 2, so I was like, okay, that's when I'll cop. So once this drops, that's when I'll get a Switch, and that's when I'll fucking lose my time to that. So the last thing before we get into the movies and stuff, Crow Country is out now on Steam, PS5, and Xbox Series XS. So this is a PS1 inspired survival horror. Let's start that over, buddy. A PS1 inspired survival horror game set in an abandoned theme park. So yeah, and it just has these hold up. It just looks like the graphics like a PS2 shit, or PS1. And like I just said, bro, I've been just trying to play indie games, and this is like an interesting concept, good visuals. I don't usually play survival horror games, but like I said, gonna check this out. So Crow Country, I gotta get more. Like I said, I got more time on my hands, so I'm really gonna start getting back into some more gaming. So I gotta finish Divers. So once we start get some new shit, coming around, I think the next biggest game is on my horizon, and there could be other stuff, but that just pops into my mind is Star Wars Outlaws. So it's like when something like that rolls around, I'm gonna hop on that, get that going, and then I'll be reviewing that. And so gonna get back into that, and I still need to get a cam so I can start my gameplay stuff back up, because I did start it, but I just didn't have a camera, and I feel like that was a very big missing component from that. I feel like it would be a lot more enjoyable with a cam. So yeah, anyways, well, into the movie stuff. So straight into some DCU stuff, man. If you've been listening so far, you know how much I like talking about the DCU. I like it a lot, man. But yeah, I just really want this to be successful and get some good DC movies. But anyways, we got the first look at the Superman suit in Superman Legacy. So this was very anticipated by a lot of people, a lot of people, myself included. And we got to see that. I guess they're gonna start filming outside, and so they wanted to get ahead of this, which was smart, maybe ? And we got to see the suit, and boy, oh boy, is it divisive. A lot of people don't seem to like it, and a lot of people seem lukewarm on it, and a few people seem to like it a lot. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this shit, I was not a fan at all. I thought this shit looked like shit out of a butt, but it kind of like after seeing various people bring it up on the TL and whatnot, and scrolling past it throughout the day. Every time I saw it, it grew on me a little bit more. So initially, it just kind of looking at it now, I think it looks pretty good. But initially, I thought it just looked super MCU-ish, and it just did not. It was not something that I envisioned for Superman, which I was expecting something a bit more classic look. So it looks just like, if you haven't seen the picture, just I guess describing it in this fucking audio medium, it just has like a bunch of lines on it and shit, and that probably isn't helpful at all. It just it's MCU esque, which I just wasn't really vibing with. I just wanted to get a different feeling, and we still don't know what it looks like in motion or whatnot, but I just was not expecting that. And so I was coming off that was like, ew brother, brother, what is this, brother, ew. It's just like, one thing I do like about it though, or one thing I didn't like about it, is it just looks super bulky. Not super bulky, but it just doesn't look like a standard like Superman suit that I would envision. But what I do like, and maybe this is because of the bulkness, it has some nice creases and folds, some natural creases and folds in the fabric and whatnot. I feel like is really cool. And it seems like Superman's wearing his trunks. So we're getting Superman in his red undies. So that is cool, I guess. I wasn't really. A lot of people said, we need trunks, make or break, or with the trunks. But it's like, if he had them, cool. If he didn't, cool. But I really like his boots though. But one thing I will stand by though, the revealing for this picture is super weird. So the suit is battle damaged and nothing crazy, but the emblem is a little, not messed up, but it's a little got some soot on it, some soot. So it's a little blackish, and then like you get some dirt marks on the suit as well. It was really weird to show it like this, like, and he's like sitting down, putting on his boots. So he's like kind of like hunched over a little bit, and then in the background there's like this fucking purple orb shooting a purple laser, and it just looks like super, just like, I don't know. It was just a weird unveiling. Like, you're not gonna put this in like just strictly light so we can see the colors pop. You're not gonna like have him stand straight up so we can get a good look at the suit. I don't know. It was just a super weird revealing, and like the background and stuff just doesn't look. Yeah, it just doesn't look appealing. It was a really weird decision for that. But then there was a picture of the suit not battled. Oh, this page doesn't exist. All right, so we're not looking at the suit not battle damaged. Let's see. There is someone made a cloth suit edit, where it's like more of a clothy material, and that looks great. So this is what I thought the suit would look like. Not carbon copy with this, but something of this vibes. I'm gonna retweet it on my What Did I Miss Twitter account. So if you want to go look at it there, you can. Links below. I'll link the account below, so you don't gotta type it in and whatnot. But yeah, so if you want to go look at that. But yeah, that's what I envision, and that what I think looks really good. And I guess the question really is though, is this gonna be his final suit? And not like final as in I expect him to like get minor. It's fucking suits change from movie to movie, minor upgrades, or if they get a whole new suit. I don't know, bro. Because I feel like this looks like something. Oh shit, where did this come from? So this just came in. So this is from the Hollywood Handle. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow releases in theaters June 26th of 2026. I don't know where this is coming from, but this literally posted from Hollywood Handle 4 minutes ago. Breaking. Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, okay, cool. Let me go to my main account and see if we get like who reported this. A description from the day. All right, we're getting okay. So right now a Disney event is happening. So there's some other stuff that might come out that we'll get to. Okay, so we're getting some. I'm gonna come back to this because we're getting some looks at some trailer descriptions for Daredevil Born Again, which is really exciting. So I'm gonna come. I have some Born Again news, so we'll come back to that. But yeah, what I was talking about though, the suit. Yeah, is he gonna get a new one? I'm not sure, to be honest. I hope he does. I hope he's like more of like made by his mom or some shit. But anyways, let's move on. Frank Grillo will star as Rick Flag Sr. in Peacemaker season 2. So Rick Flag Sr. obviously insinuating with the name, implying with the name. Is Rick Flagg's dad, who, spoiler alert, died in the Suicide Squad. So, in Rick Flag Sr., he's gonna make his debut in Creature Commandos, which is not like it is the first entry in the DCU, but it's not like the first thing. Like Superman, it is, but like Superman Legacy is the jumping off point for the DCU. But Creature Commandos is set in the DCU, and so this will hold on, we got a synopsis for it. But yeah, so I don't know why Rick Flag Sr. is on the Creature Commandos, but let me see, because I didn't know. Let's read this synopsis real quick. Okay, from executive producer and blah blah blah. All right, animation which follows Amanda Waller as she forms a black ops team out of monstrous prisoners. Prepare for an in-depth look from Rick Morales. Okay, cool. So I mean, it seems like Suicide Squad, but with fucking monsters, which I'm not really too fussed at the idea of that. But yeah, so he's Rick Flag Sr. is gonna appear in Peacemaker season 2, and Peacemaker killed his fucking son, so they got some shit to chat about, buddy. They got some beef to squash. So yeah, that's cool. I am excited for Creature Commandos as it approaches. I mean, it was kind of like whatever for me, but like as it approaches, I'm getting more jazzed for it. Some more DC stuff. I was gonna say DCU, but no. Mark Strong has reportedly been cast he's been cast in Penguin. I was gonna say as Penguin, but fucking yeah, Colin Farrell. Is that his name? I don't know. Yeah, he's been cast in the Penguin. I really like Mark Strong. So this is he was Dr. Savannah in Shazam. He was Dr. Savannah in Shazam. I don't see. Let's actually look up his movies because I don't think I've seen him in a whole lot of stuff, but I always like when he pops up. Let's see. Oh, he's in this movie called Tar. Heard that was good. Let's see. I mean, he's been in a bunch of stuff. I'm trying to find something that I've seen. He's in Kingsman, Green Lantern, Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff, but I just haven't seen a whole lot that he's in. Sunshine, fucking Mr. Sunday Movies always talks. This is like one of his favorite movies or something. I've been meaning to watch it. Yeah, I mean he's been in a bunch of shit, I guess. Yeah. So I guess hold on. There's this post though, speculating who he could be because he's. I don't think the role hasn't been cast or not cast. But the role hasn't been announced yet that he'll be playing. But some maybe potential characters are Mario Falcone, Rex Calabrese, Victor Zsasz, Hugo Strange. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. When it comes to Batman's like mob boss rogues gallery, I don't know shit about them. Yeah, I think I don't know shit about his like mob rogues gallery, but so I can't comment on Mario Falcone or Rex Calabrese, but Victor Zsasz, he's like this crazy. I would say like I wouldn't. This is not who. Did this person just put Victor Zsasz because he's bald? But he's like the serial killer. In each kill, he like puts a tally on his body, and his body's full of tallies. So he got some bodies up under his belt. But yeah, I would say Victor Zsasz is a fun idea because the role that I've seen him in, he's like very what is the word? For lack of a better description, like very Lex Luthor-y, very composed and villainy, very yeah, like that's the best I could describe it right now. But Victor Zsasz is very off the handle, off the wall, off the cuff, off the fucking woo, off the shits, off the everything. Like he's a insane man. I feel like it would be fun just to see him act like that, but he's not the first person that comes to mind when I think of Victor Zsasz. And then Hugo Strange. I definitely can see him as Hugo Strange, but I'm kind of holding out. Oh wait, this is part of the Matt Reeves' universe. Because I was gonna say I'm holding out Hugo Strange being Dave Bautista. I feel like that would be really, really fun and really, really interesting to see, showcasing Dave Bautista's development as an actor, because I feel like that's pretty different from the roles that I've seen him in. Acting as someone as Hugo Strange. He's very maniacal, very toothy, ear to ear, evil smile. Like I feel like that would be very interesting to see Dave Bautista in. But yeah, besides these roles though, I don't know who else he could be, especially if we're in the more grounded. But he could easily be Hugo Strange in Matt Reeves' universe, and then Dave Bautista could be Hugo Strange in the DCU if they choose to go that route. But what's interesting though, are they gonna end up folding Nah, they won't, bro. I don't think so. They won't end up folding the Batman into the DCU. So yeah, that's all the DCU news though. But on to some onto some Marvel news. We got some casting for the Fantastic Four. So, John Malkovich has reportedly joined the cast. Joined the cast in an undisclosed role. So, don't know who he could be playing. Honestly, I don't even like have any fucking characters that I would see him as. But regardless of the case, John Malkovich is fucking a crazy get for the MCU, bro. This movie is. We might have a fucking banger on our hands, boy. So yeah, that's super interesting. And then Galactus has been cast as Ralph Ineson. So Javier Bardem was I think rumored to be in the talks. There's like some rumors working around his schedule and whatnot, and maybe that fell through because they couldn't work around his schedule. But when Ralph as Galactus, when I seen him, I was like, I'm a very I gotta see it in motion person, but it was not jumping out at me as Galactus, so I was kind of lukewarm on it. But then on the looks wise, I guess, because he has a very Galactus has a very big head, and Ralph, and of course, there's fucking CGI and there's other ways to work around this, but Ralph has like a very slimmer head, and Javier Bardem has like a fucking fat head, and so I was like, okay, that's the head of Galactus on that man's shoulders right there. So looks wise, I was like, okay, I could definitely see Javier as Galactus. But then what really sold me on this, I'm very excited for this casting, hearing Ralph's voice. And I didn't know this, but so anyways, I didn't know this, the next part I'm about to say, but he has a very deep voice that is so fucking like rich in fucking bass, bro. And it's once you hear his voice, you'll be like, okay, I see the reasoning here. And he's a good actor on top of that, and also apparently he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 already, I believe. I think he played a Ravager. And so a funny little like headcanon that, obviously doesn't make sense or, should be taken seriously was like fucking cause can't Galactus go into like a smaller like human like size? So I was like, damn, just Galactus just role playing as a fucking Ravager on fucking Yondu's ship or whatever. But that's obviously not the case. But anyways, but yeah, he has like but I didn't know that he was the Green Knight in Green Knight, bro. I didn't know that, and I really, really like that movie. Gotta rewatch it again. But yeah, the Green Knight in that, he just has this fucking gravelly, like rough voice. And so obviously, like just off rip the voice, I can see it for sure. But I hope they keep his voice intact for the most part, which, it kind of would be stupid if they didn't. But, they're going to probably, spruce it up a little bit to sound it more ethereal space vibe, give it some echo or some shit. But yeah, he definitely has a voice for it. So that's really, really fun casting. So we got some Kevin Feige and Bob Iger news about the MCU. So Kevin Feige says he's comfortable with the MCU being the underdog again. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. You would have to be living under a rock not to know that the last few Marvel movies have failed to ignite the world in a way that so many did. That last part was from Sean Levi, who's directing Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. Honestly, it's a good place for the MCU right now. I feel like they got a little bit too big for the britches to try to expand too much. And now they're on the back foot again. And then you get crazy reactions. I mean, it would have got a crazy reaction anyway, but then you get like crazy amplified reactions of like something being actually good, like X-Men 97. Like everyone's fucking raving for that, And like I said, the praise would have still been there, but like if you kind of like think about it, like what if we were still at the height of the MCU, like it would have been nothing, but nothing new nothing new of what the fuck am I trying to say? I don't know, but yeah, and then Bob Iger goes to say they're reducing Marvel Studios' yearly output. The plan is to release only 2 shows and 2 to 3 movies per year. So great. I mean, that's still a hefty amount. So like. But the first couple phases, we were literally getting 1, maybe 2 movies a year, or no, we were getting 1 to 2 movies a year, maybe 3, and so this is 5 projects at most, and so it's still a lot, but we were post Endgame, bro, we were getting fucking 5 projects a year, fucking 6 projects a year. So it was kind of crazy. And like, COVID probably has a part in that, delaying stuff and shit needs to come out and whatnot, yada yada yada. But regardless of the case, one of like their original plan for Disney Plus was to pump as much content out as they could. And that's very evident in the quality as it goes along. The beginning stuff I feel like was stronger because maybe had more time to cook. Like they were working on that shit before, and the shit that came after, like, the real stinkers like Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion. What else was a crazy stinker? I don't know. But yeah, you just feel the quality slowly waning and getting sucked out. But okay, so this is the maybe potentials of Deadpool. I know Deadpool is gonna continue in the MCU, but Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the MCU. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were asked about their futures as Deadpool and Wolverine in the MCU. I'm sorry, but I said MCU weird. Ryan says, "I'm very nervous talking to you," and then Hugh says, "I've never been so scared of what's coming out of my mouth." So I know, like I said, it's like a no-brainer that Deadpool continues to operate in the MCU, whether he pops up in stuff or continues to get movies. But Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, first and foremost, I will say we definitely do need a new Wolverine in the MCU for sure. It shouldn't be Hugh Jackman. One, he's like pretty old now, so. And two, we just need some fresh new blood. But anyways, but Old Man Logan is, I don't know currently if he is, but he did cross over to the main 616 timeline in the comics. I don't know what he was getting up to and what his role was, but they could do something like that. Would I want to see that? Yeah. Like if they do it right, like, and not even and not make him a focus. That is, I feel like that is the most important part. He should not be a focus. He should just pop up randomly, and she just, I don't know, just like it's kind of hard to explain. Like I want to see him, but I don't. Like he's just a remnant in the universe, But honestly, me talking about it kind of sounds like ass. But so I don't maybe want to see that. But yeah, where would Hugh Jackman's like Wolverine fit though in the MCU? Like it would have to be something like that if we were to continue. Like it would have to be playing Old Man Logan. There's like another, other Wolverine. I don't know how that would fit. But yeah, honestly, yeah, talking about it, they definitely need to just retire Hugh Jackman after this movie. Maybe pops up in something like way, 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 way later down the line. Yeah, they should definitely retire Hugh Jackman. Oh, wait, but I think he's also in Secret Wars. Okay, yeah, that could be a possibility. But after that, they should definitely know more Hugh Jackman for a bit. So, do I want to talk about this news? I'll just quickly go over it before we get in. So the MCU's X-Men movie is close to hiring a writer, with finalists including Rafe Judkins, and who wrote The Wheel of Time, and Michael Leslie, Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. And I think they had some other stuff under their belt that was kind of shoddy, but I don't know, bro. Like, with writers, bro, it's so weird, bro, because you would have someone that would have made some fire shit and they would have made some dog shit, and that's probably like from studio interference. So like I said, like, or you would have a writer just make some dog shit and then they fucking create a banger, so it kind of like all this is up in the air, but this is this is from the Insider, so he's a pretty reliable source, but again, always take that with a grain of salt, all these rumors. But I don't know. So we'll just see how that goes. But they're closing in on a writer, so I think that's the important part of that rumor. Marvel Studios has discussions with Janelle Monáe about a huge Marvel role. It's reported. It's rumored that she'll portray Storm in the MCU. So this is from My Time to Shine. Take that with a big grain of salt. She's a really good actor. I haven't seen her really. She's a singer as well, but I liked her when she popped up in. What was in like the sequel to Knives Out, like whatever, butter knives or something, spoons. But someone said Storm, or they said rumored Storm, and I feel like that's a lowball fucking racist ass fan casting. One, she's like pretty short, and I envisioned Storm to be pretty tall. But someone actually did come up with a fucking fire fan casting. Mystique. I see her as Mystique 1010%. That would be super fun. So yeah, that would be cool. And then Marvel Studios has reportedly submitted Remember It as entry for Best Animated Series at the 2024 Primetime Emmy. So that's a big episode. And if you've been catching up with X-Men 97, it's a very impactful episode. I don't want to spoil it since the show it's just actually wrapping up tonight at midnight. I'm gonna review that next week. So yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's what I was gonna say about this. It just shows the Marvel Studios, Disney's their, what am I trying to say? Their confidence in X-Men 97. So we'll for sure be, and I think also I don't have it up here, but I think the voice actor for Rogue said that she was recording season 2 lines already. So, and she added that we're gonna like the next season as much as the first. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And then this X-Men 97 is Disney's Plus most watched original animated series of the year. So that's from Variety, no brainer. And then this is actually pretty interesting, really interesting. I'll group that in with this. Echo is the second most watched series on Disney Plus in 2024, earning 11.8% total viewership. That's not the interesting thing, but I put that in because that's interesting to hear about, considering Echo was pretty mid. It definitely could have been better. I didn't hate it, but yeah, it could have been better. But that I feel like is interesting to bring up because it was just getting shit on a lot. Like I said, it is mid, but I feel like getting kicked a little too hard in my opinion. I feel like, because I didn't feel like it was that bad, like the way people were making out to be, but honestly, it was probably like a 5 or 6. So I guess maybe it did deserve that kicking. But regardless, it got quite a few eyes on it. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, so back to the interesting thing. So, synopsis for the live-action Spider Noir series has come out, and Nicolas Cage is set to star as Noir. So I think I brought this up a couple weeks ago. I think Nicolas Cage was, in talks, or maybe they wanted to get him for Noir, but like they weren't really banking on it that they would be able to. But it looks like he is in talks. He is starring in this, so that is really, really fun. So he plays Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Verse, but I don't think this will be anything close to that. It was really comedic in his Spider-Verse role, which definitely works for the setting in the universe and whatnot, the story that they were telling. But Noir series is pretty fucking gritty. So it's like 1930s New York, and I'm pretty sure it's Peter Parker. But he is fucking. It's just super fucking. What words am I looking? What descriptives am I looking for? Gritty, noir. Because I haven't read any Noir stories. I just know the vibe of the universe, right? So, but anyways, the synopsis is Noir tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator in 1930s New York who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. So, what was kind of worrying me when I was hearing about news around this and was their reluctancy to say Spider-Man Noir. Like, the series is just called Noir. It's not like Spider-Man Noir. And what makes me fucking reluctant about that is Sony's weird fucking, I don't know what it is. Their weird dance around to not have Spider-Man in anything that is not the MCU. Like, oh my God, this is gonna make me mad. Where the fuck is he in? Where is he in the fucking Venomverse movies? Where is he in Morbius? Where is he in fucking Kraven, bro? Why is there not a Spider-Man in those goddamn movies, bro? And they just are so fucking... Oh, and then Madam Web. They had the fucking Ezekiel Sims fucking as man. He wasn't even Spider-Man. He was just fucking man. Bro, I don't understand it. So I just really hope, I'm praying that this series is not just weirdly trying to avoid Spider-Man, like whatever the case, like weirdly avoiding him, like as in like costume wise, and Noir's costume doesn't look like a standard Spider-Man costume. Like it doesn't have any like webbing, and like it just has like, I feel like only resemblance really is the mask. So I just hope they aren't weird about it, bro. Just say Spider-Man. Just say his name is Spider-Man, bro. And honestly, I won't have the biggest problem with it if it's just like kind of like just the Sony villain movies. They just omit him completely from the movies. But like, if I mean, I guess I would have a slight problem with it. But if it's just like kind of, they're implying it, or they're just like, I'm saying this because I could see this noir series like being Spider-Man esque without specifically saying Spider-Man and still working. Because like I said, like his design really isn't like you can like his design isn't like, oh my god, you just see it and say scream fucking Spider-Man. Oh, I just thought about this. What are they gonna do with his rogues gallery? Are we gonna get like, because there's like a 1930s like Vulture, there's like a fucking, I think, Hammerhead, and so it's like, what are we gonna see villain wise? Are we gonna get some generic fucking just mob guys? Are we gonna actually see some super powered villains? And actually, I don't know if they're super powered in Noir series, or if they just, I don't know the villains deal on this. So if there's any good Noir comics out there, I'll probably try to track those down. But the series has been in development since last year from Oren Uziel. It doesn't say what he wrote, but he worked on The Lost City and 22 Jump Street, which I like 22 Jump Street, and Steve Lightfoot, who worked on Marvel's The Punisher and Shataraman. And so Steve Lightfoot, he will show. I think they both will serve as co-showrunners and executive producers. And Emmy-winning director Harry Bradbeer worked on Fleabag and Killing Eve, and I've heard good things about both those shows. He's set to direct and executive produce the first 2 episodes. So they also developed this series with the Spider-Verse creators Phil Lord and Christopher Miller and Amy Pascal. So and Amy Pascal, who will serve, I think all 3 of them will serve as executive producers. So this is coming on Prime. So expanding the Marvel Universe with Noir and a uniquely special opportunity, and we're honored to bring this series to our global Prime Video customers, said Vern Sanders, head of television at Amazon MGM Studios. Yeah, so I mean, it's like, regardless though, whether it's like loosely Spider-Man or whatever, we're getting Nicolas Cage in this type of setting, and I feel like that's just fun in itself. And I got some more Nicolas Cage stuff later when we get into some first looks and some trailers for things. So I mean, we'll see how this develops. Definitely. I don't know why I made that sound, but yeah, definitely keeping eyes on this. So sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna keep that in. Before we get into some first looks, a couple things. Marvel has issued a DMCA subpoena to reveal who is behind a leak account called Can We Get Some Toast? They've posted various leaks, including an image from Captain America Brave New World. So it seems like Marvel's really trying to crack down on this fucking leaker. They're asking Instagram to share all information that could help to identify the account holder. That includes names, physical addresses, IP address, telephone numbers, email addresses, and payment account information. So they're trying to get Buddy up out of here. But I'm not gonna lie to you. To keep it $150. I mean, this person, I'm not to say like this person deserves to be on witch hunted like this, but regardless, will this affect like leak culture? Which I do like talking about leaks, but also I like to go in blind. Like, I'm not gonna look them up, but then I'm not gonna shy away from them. It depends what it is, but usually I'm not gonna shy away from them, and sometimes I even talk about them on here. But it's like, if they weren't there, I'd be just as happy. But I think also that goes in. I said this before, but I am gonna try to keep leaks and rumors very, very minimum. Unless it's just something I'm super interested in, or it's like, an interesting, thing or whatever. Or unless it's just a slow news day and we're just, not much to talk about. So I just, yeah. So this has kind of been a thing, but I think they officially announced it at this like Disney, I think it's called like Upfront or some shit that they were doing, and that's like what I said we'll come back to because they are releasing stuff currently about that. But yeah, officially we've gotten it's Marvel Studios for the movies, Marvel Animation for the animation stuff, What If and X-Men 97, and what's to come. I think there's a Spider-Man show about his freshman year in the works, and that was connected to the MCU, but then got reworked to not be because, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if it was. And then Marvel Television. So, we have that for the live action TV stuff. So, I feel like this is a smart play. If they handle it right, you got people working on the movies, you got people working on animation, got people working on the TVs, and it's not, all being overseen by one person. It probably is, but it's not all on one person to try to get all this shit in order, so that's I feel like it could turn out, working well for the MCU. So this was some stuff that came out recently during the shit I said, the Disney upfront stuff that I just quickly added in. Daredevil Born Again has a release date of March 25th, so that's in a little less than a month, so about 11 months, so a little not less than a month, less than a year. So that's cool. And then I think we also got to look at the logo, which looks, so it's just the Daredevil logo, red, and then at the bottom of the letters it has the city skyline, and it kind of looks like it's making the logo. Is that blood? I think it's the city, but yeah, I think it's the city, but it makes the text look like it's dripping blood, which is actually a really cool design. So that's cool. And then I think Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio right here standing. Yeah, I think that's them. And then Agatha All Along will premiere September 18th. So around my birthday. Yay, Agatha All Along for my birthday. Great. Agatha All Along just feels like a show that, they're kind of stuck with, because with the retooling of Marvel Television and their live action shows, this doesn't seem like something that would focus on at all. So I just feel like, and I don't think Marvel or Disney is the type to axe films that are already been made, unlike fucking Warner Bros. But and then also Ironheart will release on Disney Plus next year. And I think this has been, wait, Alden Ehrenreich's in this fucking show? Huh, that's guy played Han Solo. I didn't know he was in that. So that's coming out next year. It's been fucking done filming for almost 2 years, I believe, and they just been sitting on it. I just remain saying this should have been Rhodey should have been in this movie. It should have been, because apparently it's about the hood, and he's this magic crime person, a mobster. He has this hood that has I don't know what the fuck it does actually, so I'm not even gonna try to explain it. But yeah, definitely I feel still remains to be seen, but definitely should have been Rhodey and Ironheart centric. So apparently a new Godzilla and King Kong movies in the works. And Dave Callahan Across the Spider-Verse is set to write the next movie. So I think he wrote or helped write Across the Spider-Verse, so that's cool. And then I think Adam Wingard, the director of I think the last 2 Godzilla movies, he said so the last Godzilla movie that just came out was more Kong's story. Godzilla was kind of just there to move the plot. But this next movie is going to be more of a movie focused on Godzilla in the way that the last movie was focused on Kong. So that's exciting. I really like the Kong stuff in the last movie. So I feel like it was very expressive, and it felt very I feel like that's one of my favorite things about that movie. Yeah. And then also The Boys season 5 was confirmed. So it had what's the character's name? Mamiko or something like that. She was just carving season 5 into a desk or something. Yeah, The Boys, bro, they need to wrap it up, buddy. I love the show, love it a lot, but it's kind of dragging. Season 3 just felt super runaround. Had some plot development, but it just felt like just ran in a circle by the end of the season. And it's the stuff with Homelander, bro, come on, bro. We're about to be on fucking, season 5 got confirmed, but he's not knocked off yet. So it's they need to wrap it up in season 5, or season 6 is for show the last season. But yeah, super exciting. It drops literally less than a month, I think, so that's pretty cool. Mr. and Mrs. Smith has been renewed for season 2 at Prime Video. Donald Glover and Maya Erkinson will not return to stars. So a lot of people have been saying what is the point if they're not coming back? and I kind of agree. But I think didn't Donald Glover also like write or produce or direct or something? So if that's the case, oh, yeah, I think he did actually. So yeah, that's I really like their characters, but I feel like this is a universe where, I mean, we saw the other couple. This is a universe with different Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So yeah, I mean, like their dynamics. So I'm just open. A lot of people are like writing it off, or it seems like, but I'm open to see where this goes and who stars in it and whatnot. As long as Donald Glover is still behind behind the scenes and whatnot, I feel like this show can still continue to be good and do good. So, yeah, because I just like the vibe and this like the just the flow of the season and everything, and like besides the two characters themselves, I just felt, and then like the look and like the writing, I just liked all that. So I feel like me saying that there's more to like beyond the characters, while they were a very big factor in me liking the show. I feel like there's still other stuff to like about the show as well. So if you just get some charismatic, or I feel like that's the wrong word for the characters, but if you just get some, not even well known, but some good actors, some good fucking actors for it, and so still well written, like we can keep the ball rolling. I'm down to keep clowning with that. A live action Tomb Raider series is officially moving forward at Prime Video. Phoebe Waller-Bridge will write the series but will not star. I know she's an actor, but I didn't know she was a writer. I don't know if she has any other writing credits. I guess I could look that up right now. But I do like Tomb Raider a lot. She has some older movies that I have not seen and probably aren't that good. Yeah, so it says English actor and screenwriter. So let me look up her writing credits. And I think, whoa. So Killing Eve. Oh, okay. Oh, she got some shit under her belt for sure. So Killing Eve, like I said, I've heard about that series, some good things about that. Written by, wait, did she make Killing Eve? Hold on, buddy. Let's open up a new tab. Because it says made by creator, and I don't know what the show's about. Oh, writers Phoebe Waller-Bridge, based on, it's based on a novel. Program creator Phoebe Waller-Bridge. So maybe she was the spearhead. What is this show about? Eve's life as a spy is not adding up to what she had hoped it would be when she started. She's bored, very smart, MI5 security officer who is very desk bound. Vanelli is a very talented killer. Mercurial in mood who clings to the luxuries of her job. Eve and Vanelli go head to head in a fierce game of cat and mouse, each woman equally obsessed with the other, as Eve is tasked with hunting down the psychopathic assassin. I mean, that's an interesting premise. I might check this out. I think it's wrapped up, so it's not like, ongoing or ended abruptly. 4 seasons, so not too lengthy. Who's this actress? I really like her. Let's see. I like this actress. Let me see. Sandra Oh. Yeah, I like her a lot. So man, check her out. Yeah, like I was saying, I like the Tomb Raider. Where am I coming with Tomb Raiders? The PS4 game. I fell off with the second one because I low key think it was like exclusive or some shit, and then it eventually came into PlayStation. It was like already like by the time it's like I was like already past it. It's like or whatever. But yeah. So I might try to circle back to those games. But that's interesting. I'm definitely keeping an eye on the Tomb Raider series. See who's the main actress and whatnot. Who do you think they'll try to give for that? The Prime series, so they got a bit of a budget. All right. I don't know. Let's keep moving. Because we've been kind of still got quite a few trailers to get into, and we gotta talk about Tales of the Empire, and I gotta fucking go soon. Jesus, fuck. That's real. Let's look at the time. Where are we at with it? First, look at Bruce Wayne, Batman, and the Batman Caped Crusader, a 40 set period piece, releasing August 1st on Prime Video. So this has a lot of great names attached to it. So Bruce Timm's coming back. Blah blah blah. He did like the original Batman animated series, but some names attached to this though. Let me see. It's like J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves. There's some really good names attached to it. I don't know where it is saying, but anyways, so this is set in the 40s where no computers, no technology, because they wanted to be distinct from the animated series, design wise and like feel wise and whatnot. So I think that's a really interesting approach for this Batman. We'll see what his detective work looks like, but it also seems like what's actually What's pretty funny is Commissioner Gordon is black in this, which I don't have a problem with, but it's set in the 40s. So will that be something they acknowledge, or is racism not a thing in this universe? Which, if they don't acknowledge it, I'm not really tripping. If they do, I hope it's something worthwhile. But anyways, so there's an interesting, I think, so the images look nice. I like the art style. Batman's costume is very his early appearance look, like he has those like bigger gloves, bigger, like bigger ears, like taller, but they're like kind of wider on his head a little bit. Kind of hard to explain. Very, very simplistic look. Early days Batman, like I said, I'm not fussed with it at all. I mean, it's just not something like, oh my fucking god, I love, but it's like it doesn't look bad either. So I think some interesting things though I think the most interesting things we've seen about this was Harley Quinn's, their take on Harley Quinn. So they said, or let me see. So this is, I think Bruce Timm created the character, or co-created. So I co-created the character, so I have a lot of love and affection for her. But I thought there might be something interesting about bringing her on the show, just not as Joker's girlfriend, Tim says. So how do we do that? A big part was doing a basic flip. The original Dr. Quinzel. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. Fuck. For some reason, bro, when I talk like long periods of time, especially on the pod, because I'm fucking constantly talking for like 2.5 hours, my nose gets super stuffy. I don't know why. Is that like a fucking serious medical problem or something? I don't know. But it's like, and it doesn't even, when I try to blow my nose, it's not even super like, this is like TMI. The original Dr. Quinzel was a little bit more serious. And then when she became Harley, she got really goofy and weird. So we thought, what if we reverse that? When she's Dr. Quinzel, she's a little bit more whimsical and fun, and when she's Harley Quinn, she's scary. So like this look at Harley Quinn, she looks like more of like a fucking crazy serial killer. And this Harley Quinn design, I'm not loving, but I'm not too fussed with it. But so it's like they seem to like really been making an effort to make this feel like its own thing, and I really like that a lot. Because it would have been really easy to either fucking, make like a continuation. I don't know where the animated series ended, but, or like, in that style. So yeah. And this has been on my radar for a while. There was like some stuff with it. It was like, who was this original? Oh, Max. Like, they was for them, and they was like, weren't liking it. And so this was getting shopped around, and it had a possibility to be canceled. But it ended up getting picked up by Amazon Prime. So that's cool. So yeah, I was like fingers crossed that this doesn't get canceled. So yeah, that's cool. Before we get into some first looks, we got some interesting premises. Jeff Bridges has been cast. So Jeff Bridges, who Jeff? Oh, he played pretty sure he played fucking Obadiah Stane in Iron Man 1. Obviously and other stuff, but I was just trying to relate it to some nerd shit. Yeah, Obadiah Stane. Oh, that's what I also really like him in Tron Legacy. That was one of my faves growing up, Tron Legacy. But yeah, so Jeff Bridges has been cast as Grendel in a Grendel movie, which will tell his side of the story about his rivalry with Beowulf. Dave Bautista will star as Beowulf alongside Bryan Cranston and Sam Elliott. So this cast fucking great, but fucking Beowulf, bro. When I heard about Beowulf, like this news, it just like transported me back to my childhood. There's like this, when I watched it, when did this come out? Hold on. I gotta find this because, bro, I thought for the longest time this movie was just like a fucking fever dream, bro. How the fuck you spell Beowulf? I literally seen it. B-E-O. That's so weird. B-E-O. When the wolf is spelled W-U-L-F. Beowulf. So yeah, there's this 2000 like animated film, like real, like it looks realistic. I don't know how to describe it. That's crazy cast. What the fuck? Anthony Hopkins, John Malkovich, fucking Angelina Jolie, I think. What the fuck? But anyways, it's like super realistic looking, but it's animated. And when I was younger, so it came out 2007, so I was like 7 or 8. There were clearly animated scenes, and then there were some scenes that I thought were live action. So I thought this was like a live action hybrid animated movie. But anyways, I liked it a lot though. It was like it's kind of scary, I think. Oh, for a kid. But yeah, I watched it with my grandpa, bro, and I ended up liking it. What is this rated? Should I have been watching this with my grandpappy? This is like, what is this rated? I'm pretty sure it was a flop too. Pretty sure it's rated R because I'm pretty sure there were some titties in it. Oh, it's not. It's PG-13, so there was no titties. Misremembering. But yeah, bro, I'm super excited for this. And then Dave Bautista as Beowulf, I feel like is just like a cherry on top for me, honestly. Yeah. So whatever develops on this, super excited. So another Nicolas Cage thing. Nicolas Cage, Fika Twigs, Noah Jupe, and Sholia Yakub will star in Lofty Nathan's The Carpenter's Son. The film follows the childhood of Jesus with a horror take. Source Deadline. So yeah, I mean, Nick Cage, fuck with him. And the premise is fucking interesting. I'm not like into. Is there a lot of them like religious movies? But like Jesus' childhood with a fucking horror take. Like, what does that even entail? Like, is there some like horror elements in the fucking Bible or something? Like, is there a H.P. Lovecraft section, whatever his name is? I'm not sure. But yeah, keep an eyes on that. Okay, but now we get into some first looks though. And so this is a clip. The first clip for The Surfer, a new psychological thriller starring Nicolas Cage. The film follows an Australian expat. I don't know what an expat is, who buys his family's beach home, but must go to war with a group of surfers who claim the beach for their own. I'm gonna look up an expat real quick before I get into like what I seen in the trailer and shit. What the fuck is an expat? Expatriate? Is that what it means? Expat? An expat, patriot or expat. Okay. An individual living in or working in a country other than their country of citizenship. Okay, so is he like deployed or some shit? I don't know. It says expat. It says I fucking misread that. I said expatriate. That's what the fuck it says. Expatriate. But I was saying in like X-patriot, like he's an X, like he's not a patriot. I don't fucking know. But anyways, this first look I feel like was a really, really interesting. So like the clip is my computer muted. All right, so like the clip is like, I like the visuals. All right, let me get into it. So it's Nicolas Cage. He's walking up to these guys, fucking drinking and smoking around this shack. And they're accompanied by a police officer, and he's trying to. Apparently, they stole his surfboard, and he sees it in their on their property or whatever. And he's like, "All right, bro, that's my board. I'm gonna need it back." The guy's playing fucking hardball. He's like, "I don't know, bro. I don't think this is your board and whatever." Like da da da. And then so this cop, he's like trying to explain this to this cop. He's like, "Okay, bro, these guys took my board for yesterday from me. Like they held me up at fucking sharp bottle point." He had like a broken bottle, I guess, and he was like, and they took it from me. Hold on, fuck. I thought I unplugged my mic. All right, that was me testing it. And so the cop he's in on it too. Apparently, seemingly, like he's like kind of, it's like, that doesn't really make sense to me. How long has this board been up for you guys? And he's like, about like 7 years. He's like, yeah, it's been up for like 7 years. And so slowly, as it like is going on, Nick Cage is losing his cool more and more. Like he's visibly becoming irate. So it just like it was the visuals look great. Like, and when he like after he's like, you see Nick Cage visibly becoming irritated, he like it says like a shot of the sun, and it's like super like it says a psychological thriller, so there's gonna be stuff like that. And it's like slowly zooming in on Nick Cage's face as he's like losing his shit. And fucking hell, bro, Twitter is ass. Like I will like be like scrubbing through the video, and then like it'll just lock up and freeze, like, or whatever. But as he's like becoming more and more annoyed, this camera's like slowly zooming in on his face, like giving like this he's losing his fucking shit vibe. And then like it's zooming in on the sun, and it's just like is this all playing into this like this, I don't know how to describe it, this a certain feeling. And I think the visuals really accompany or uplift that feeling well too, because like it looks very like oversaturated, like the visuals, and I feel like plays really well with like the blaring down of the sun. And because like I think one of the guys like, I think you got like heat exhaustion, bro, because you're speaking nonsense to us. But like it just I don't know, bro. It's an interesting premise. Nick Cage, like I said, great actor. yeah, psychological stuff I like a lot. So we'll be checking that out. And then so the first posters for so I heard about this before, but like I was kind of interested with the cast, but then I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. So first posters for William Dafoe, Jesse Plemons, and Yorgos Lanthimos, and Emma Stone. For kinds of kindness. The posters are pretty funny. So it's like they're wearing a mask of their face and it's super enlarged. It just looks really interesting. That's what really caught my eye to put this on the list. I don't even know what this movie's about, to be honest, but it looks like one of those fucking. All right, let's actually kinds of kindness. Let's kind of look up a synopsis on this because I'm actually really interested. 3 stories revolve around a man who tries to take control of his own life, a policeman whose wife seems like a different person, and a woman who searches for someone with a special ability. Oh wow! All right, okay, that's I'm pretty sold. Honestly, I don't really need to hear any more. Sorry if you want to hear more, you can search that up on your own. But I'm pretty sold on that. Honestly, I think the special abilities part kind of put the nail in the coffin, or I think that's a negative term. Really sold it for me. Let's see. So yeah, keep an eye on that as that develops. The new Office series will follow the Dunder Mifflin documentary crew as they focus on a dying historic Midwestern newspaper and its volunteer reporters. It's set in the same universe as the original series. So I don't know if I'm just kind of an idiot, but this synopsis did not make sense to me. So is it following? So the series will follow the Dunder Mifflin documentary crew. So the people who are recording, the original series, as they focus on a dying historic Midwestern newspaper and its volunteer reporters. Okay. Me breaking it, I think I was a little stupid. Okay, so the crew is focusing on another Midwestern newspaper, and that's what was fucking tripping me up. For some reason, bro, my brain was like Midwestern newspaper. For some reason, because Dunder Mifflin's a paper company. So like, I don't know. For some reason, my brain just fucking was like making it like it was turning Midwestern newspaper company into like another like company like Dunder Mifflin. So that's why it wasn't making sense when it said in its volunteer reporters. So I was like, why would like a company like Dunder Mifflin need fucking reporters? But I'm just a fucking big idiot. Jesus Christ, that was kind of embarrassing. But yeah, so I say that's actually a really interesting premise. Yeah, jeez. And so I just don't know how to feel about this, to be honest, because The Office is one of my favorite shows. So it's like, yeah, just leave it where it's at. But it's like, we'll see. But then Steve Carell played Michael Scott in the original series. He says he won't appear in the new series. I will be watching, but I will not be showing up. Which could, just him, capping, and yeah. There's actually, he will show up. So we got the first teaser trailer for Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. Am I saying that right? Megalopolis. I think I am. Releasing in theaters later this year. So this teaser trailer comes with some baggage, my guys. So let's get into the teaser first, and then we'll talk about the baggage. So, like I said, I didn't know what the fuck this movie was about, what it could be about. The first like little teaser we got was like Adam Driver standing on the Empire State Building, like reversing time or some shit. So it's like, what? But apparently, it's about like the Roman Empire and. Hold on. Actually, let me fucking look up the shit because I might sound like a goddamn idiot again. Bro, Jesus. Like, bro, yeah, Twitter's cooked, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna look up. The synopsis. Okay, so, I think this is from the maker himself. A Roman epic set in modern America, transposing the Catalan conspiracy to overthrow the rulers of the Roman Republic in 63 BC to a sci-fi future. The plot hinges on an idealistic architect played by Driver trying to build a utopian city on the ruins of New York. Let me see. Against the wishes of the mayor, Giancarlo Esposito, with the mayor's socialite daughter, Natalie Emanuel, caught in the middle. The cast is star-studded. Okay, yeah. It takes in big themes such as politics, race, architecture, philosophy, sex, love, and loyalty. Yeah, so that's like the synopsis. I don't know where the fucking time travel stuff comes in on this at all. Like that does but yeah, the trailer is like starts off with like New York seemingly hit with like a fucking nuclear strike or some shit. But yeah, the visuals look super interesting. Like there's like some like moving statues, like it's like weeping angel type vibes type shit. Not really, but I don't know where that plays. Like, is that like a play on like the someone's imagination? Is that actually happening? Like, there's some like coliseums with like some Roman chariot racings, like in modern times. Yeah, the visuals just look really, really interesting. I'm not sure if this will be good or not, but okay. The baggage though. So some weird shit came out with this movie. So okay, so this is a self-financed film of like, so Francis Ford Coppola put up 120 million of his own money to get this film made. It was a passion project, like it was like dedicated to it. His wife was working on it with him, and she died like a month ago, so like, you know, it's kind of in her honor, but some stuff came out about it. So some weird shit came out, like a crew member said watching working on this film was like watching a train wreck unfold day after day, week after week, and knowing that everybody there had tried their hardest to help the train be avoided, a train wreck to be avoided. So like I said, okay, this is like relatively funny stuff, and then it like gets into some like really weird stuff. And so basically he was just being he was being difficult to work with in a way. So I guess the gist, to break it down from what I read in the article, he would just did not have fuck, there's a lot to get into with this actually. So it's just like he didn't, so the volume is like a glorified like green screen, like it's very step up from a green screen. And so apparently he didn't want to use that, and he wanted to use more to traditional CG green screen methods. And like, I guess his driving force into saying that was like, oh, I don't want to fucking make a Marvel movie or whatever. And like, I guess like ended up doing that. And I guess the VFX artists, most of them were fired or quit. So, and there was like various like things of saying in the article of like, this is from The Guardian, so if you want to go read this yourself and get like the full gist and not me fucking shoddily breaking this down, it's called Has This Guy Ever Made a Movie Before? Francis Ford Coppola's 40-year battle to film Megalopolis. So there is like, he made this special trailer to direct from, like, so he doesn't have to be on set, called The Silverfish. And apparently there would be days where he would go in there and be in there for hours when they're supposed to be filming stuff, and he'd just be smoking weed in there or whatever, and then he would come out, and then he would like, you know, whip everyone into gear and get everyone in gear after they've just been waiting around for hours, and be like, okay, we're doing this and that. And then the people were like, this shit doesn't make any sense. Like, what is he talking about? And so there's shit like that. And I'll get to the weird shit last. There's shit like, what else was like he was doing? Oh, he was bringing in constant new visions for like the CGI stuff. And so the CGI in this movie might be shit, because what I've learned is when you have a clear vision from the start for like, you know, CGI stuff, that gives you more of your CGI VFX artists to work on that longer. And so it's like when you start to change shit, then they have to start over, or, you know, start from a point, you know, go back and then redo the shit. And so that's why you get like shoddy looking CGI. I was gonna say HDMI for some reason, CGI. So yeah, so apparently he was like changing stuff, like, you know, coming in every day with a new vision, and so with shit like that. And apparently like he was very like old school with this, like, you know, auteurs, they said, or directors from his era, like, are the only person on the set with the vision. Like, they're directing everyone to, you know, to help them bring that vision to life. But like, you know, now it's more like a collaborative process. Like not everyone, but, you know, there's more hands in the pot per se. You know, it's probably it probably varies from movie to movie, but, you know, overall it's like it's more collaborative than it was before. And so he wasn't being super collaborative and, you know, letting people run stuff and, you know, do stuff on his account, which, you know, And I could see why you wouldn't want that, but it's a different time, and that's why you have to be collaborative and work with people and communicate properly, so they know what you want, and so they can, communicate your vision, or on your behalf and whatnot, or while you're working on something else that needs your attention. And so, there's some stuff where he moved in, he relocated his extended family, and he bought a recently closed down motel and was making renovations to it as the movie was going on. Shit like that. And then, so where the weird shit comes in is like, so they were shooting, I guess, this club scene, and there's like a topless performers and whatnot in the club and whatever the case. But apparently he was going around to like the extras and like the performers, and he was like giving them kisses and like hugging them. And like from him, his words, I guess, were like to get them in the mood and, the mood of the scene, I guess. And it was just this very weird shit. That, all that stuff, the stuff I said before is quote unquote funny, but like at the end of the day, like you're creating a bad work environment and whatnot, and that's a no-go in my book. So it is funny, but it's just like, no one wants to work in a toxic environment. But like this shit pushes beyond weird and eccentric shit. Now this is like fucking sexual harassment and assault type shit. Like you're going up to people and kissing them and whatnot. And yeah, so that's like made me like really reluctant. Like, do I don't even want to check out this movie now? And I don't know. I think I still am, just for the simple fact of, again, it's like not. That's like kind of hard to say, because I was gonna say there's other, components that go into a movie, but it's like kind of, this is his passion project. This is his own, workings and whatnot. So that's, I guess, something I'm still deciding. Because this could just be damage control, but. This is like in response to those behaviors. The executive co-producer Darren Dimitri stated, "I've known and worked with Francis and his family for over 35 years, and as one of the first assistant directors and executive producers on his new epic. I hope to oversee." Okay, yes. There were 2 days when we shot a celebratory Studio 54-esque club scene where Francis walked around the set to establish the spirit of the scene by giving kind hugs and kisses on the cheek to cast and background players. It was his way to help inspire and establish the club atmosphere, which was so important to the film. I was never aware of any complaints of harassment or ill behavior during the course of the project. So it's just like, yeah, that could just be damage control, but yeah, it's like, bro, man, what the fuck you doing, dude? Stop being weird. And then like also back to some funny weird shit. Apparently, so Adam Driver's the star of this movie, and so Adam Driver's first day on set was particularly memorable, as source suggests. One aspect of the story involves Driver's character's body fusing with some futuristic organic material, which sounds sick as fuck. Rather than using digital techniques, Coppola wanted to achieve the effect through old school methods, using projectors and mirrors, much as he had done on Dracula 30 years earlier. That's great, except nobody can move, says the crew member. So they basically strapped Adam Driver into a chair for 6 hours, and they literally took $100 projector and projected an image on the side of his head. I'm all for experimentation, but this is really what you want to do on the first day with your $10 million actor? The effect would have been quick and easy to create digitally, they said. So Coppola, spends literally half a day on what could have been done in 10 minutes. So yeah, that's there's some shit about this movie. So what I was reading is basically this movie could be fucking a disaster or it could be a fucking classic. So we will see. So we have the first trailer for Handling the Undead, starring Renee Reneziv, and it's in theaters May 30th. This might get a very limited release because when I was watching it, this is a foreign film, so that might turn people off already. But it's a zombie movie, and it's a very interesting kind of premise. So people are just waking up from the dead, and they're not like, typical zombies right away, just like going on the attack and shit, but they're like kind of shells of themselves in a way, and like very empty-eyed and very just yeah, and it like it's weird. It's weird because like one of them sheds a tear, I believe. Yeah, this like old lady's like hugging this other old lady, and like the zombie lady sheds a tear. So like they experience some type of emotion on some level. But then I think also like as like it progresses, they start to decay more because like there's an image of this. There's this image of like this zombie character guy, and he's like way more decayed than a lot of other people. So I don't know if that's I don't know what the reasoning there, but they seem to get more ravenous as like they're quote unquote alive again. So I think they like slowly start turning into typical zombies. It seems like. But yeah, it's a very, very strong visuals. It looks like an interesting premise. So yeah, that's gonna be on my radar. Whether I gotta track that down some way, somehow. But yeah, we're keeping an eye on that. That's the end of this month. So yeah, I gotta get on that, see where that comes out. Then we got the first trailer for Didi, which is in theaters July 26th. So this is a coming of age story. I think it was like described as like, it starts off with like these kids recording like a prank on this old lady, like blowing up her mailbox, and this kid uploading it to quote unquote YouTube and whatnot. And so I guess it's like a coming of age story, like in the day and age of the internet and stuff. And he's just trying to find his place, fitting in with his friends and his mom, like his little brother, I guess, like his, straight A student, and like he's being compared to him, and like this kid's just like making YouTube videos and whatnot, and like his older sister, and they bicker, typical sibling shit. It seems like his dad's not around. It's just him and his mom, his grandma, and his brother and his sister. It seems like, but yeah, it seems like he wanted to be a videographer. The visuals look good. I like coming of age stories. And the performances look good. So I'd suggest checking out the trailer. You'll get more of a vibe of what I'm talking about. There's not much I can say. It's like a coming age. Yeah. Oh, what I think. One of the things I do wonder about this, because he's Asian. I'm not specifically sure what he is, but he's Asian. So I wonder if there's gonna be like other elements of Asian culture in there where I can watch it and get the surface level, but if you're actually in part of the culture and whatnot, there's other stuff that resonates with you more. Because I just didn't see anything jump out like that. So yeah, looking forward to that. So July 26th. So yeah, that was all the looks at the new trailers and stuff. So we got not a bit, but we got a little bit of miscellaneous news before we get into some quick comic stuff, and then talk about Tales of the Empire. Let me see. TikTok has officially sued the U.S. government. They claim the app being banned is unprecedented violation of the First Amendment right to free speech. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah, I just want to follow up from what I talked about TikTok being banned I think last week or so. Yeah. This kind of so I'm starting to gain a little bit more traction on TikTok, and so yeah, they suck if it leaves. But I feel like TikTok's really good for especially political shit, like a lot of political shit, like yeah, it's good just for getting your voice out there and just whatever which way, whatever. I don't know where that point's going. Whatever. So we got Deadline. I think I brought this up last week, but they weren't done putting the movies. But the 10 most profitable films of 2023. Pulling up. So we got first up, making the most money. Super Mario Bros. So that brought in 559 million profit. So that's big bucks. And then second one's Barbie, 421 million profit. The third is Spider-Verse, $328 million profit. Cool. And then I'm glad that this was successful. Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem made 204.5 million profit. Oppenheimer 202 million. Wonka 182 million. Taylor Swift The Eras Tour 172 million. Five Nights at Freddy's 161 million. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, 124 million, and Paw Patrol movie, 114 million. So yeah, just wanted to follow up with some numbers because we talk about numbers on here a little bit when we review movies and such. And then, hold on. Did I talk about these bombs? So Disney detonates the force. So there's some bombs of 2023. Let's see. Disney. The Marvels. It lost 237 million. Jesus Christ. The Flash. It lost 155 million. Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny. Still haven't seen that. 143 million. It lost. Wish, 131 million. I think that's an animated movie. Haunted Mansion, 117 million. Lost, and I think that's that on that. Sorry, I'm like kind of like going through this. We gotta talk about Tales of the Empire, and I gotta go to my fucking brother's game. Let's see. Warner Bros. Plans another max price increase, looking at more layoffs as CEO David Zaslav seeks more cost-cutting measures. More scumbaggery. A paywall inside of so I didn't even know this. So on Netflix, if you have like the lowest tier of the subscription, some shit is paywalled. And I guess some guy tried to watch The Equalizer, and it says unlock all movies and TV shows. Choose any ad-free plan to access all of Netflix. So that's pretty fucking shitty, especially with like price increases and shit. So we're circling back to fucking cable. What I've been saying every time this gets fucking brought up. God, this makes me irate. Disney and Warner Bros. Will team up to start a new streaming bundle that includes Disney Plus, Hulu, Max, and it's arriving this summer in the U.S. And what's funny is like I probably will get this bundle because I want Max. So you fucking idiots. Netflix, Apple TV. And Peacock will team up to form their own streaming bundle through Comcast. Like, do I need to say it, bro? Like, oh my god, I don't have the time to get into this, but it's like cable worked for a reason, and then you introduce streaming, and then you inflate your numbers for years, and then you fucking create this false narrative of shit being profitable and yada yada yada. And now we're circling back to fucking cable method because it worked well in the first place. You fucking idiots. Goddamn. All right, some comic stuff. What if Mark Spector was the host of Venom? Is now available to pre-order. So yeah, that I think I talked about this in a What If story. I think there's a couple other Venom stuff. What If Venom stories, and so Moon Knight's arguably my top 3 Marvel character out. So in general, so really excited for that. So I got to keep eyes on this. And still on Marvel, so I'm hella behind on Ultimate X-Men. I didn't know, bro. Comic promotion, bro. Their promotion budget has to be like fucking $3.02, bro. I do not see any promotion for comics at all, bro. It's so hard to find news on like consistent news on comics, bro. Maybe I'm just not following the right outlets or anything, but I'm just saying like, bro, it's just so baffling. But like, so I read the first issue of Ultimate X-Men and I really, really enjoyed it. It was like fucking manga, but like, you know, Marvel Comics, which I really, really liked a lot. And so I guess another issue came out and I didn't read that. And issue 3 comes out tomorrow, I believe. So I'm going to try to go pick that up at my comic store. I didn't pick up the first one from my comic store, which I probably should have, but I just didn't know if I was like, I didn't, because I think Black Panther came out after Spider-Man in the new Ultimate Universe, and I was reading that and I didn't really like it, so I was like, yeah, and I was like, probably not gonna like the Ultimate X-Men either, so I didn't go and buy that. I just read it online, and I ended up really liking it a lot. So gonna try to keep up with the physical copies of that, and then, you know, at the end, since I did miss the first 2, probably buy like the whole volume or whatever. But yeah, so I gotta catch up with Ultimate X-Men. And then also with some DC stuff. Elseworld, I think I mentioned this before. Elseworld stories returning. So this is like stories in different universe. Like you have Superman Red Sun, where he lands in Russia instead of Kansas, and he turns into like a Russian dictator. You have like Gotham by Gaslight, where it's like Batman in like the fucking, I don't know. I was gonna say like, is it like the Jack Ripper era? But you get like different stuff like that. And so they're ramping up with this. So Elseworlds returns with a lineup of all new comic series starring DC's greatest heroes and fantastic settings far beyond the DC universe. This exciting new era begins in June with Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age. So yeah, that's an interesting title. I'm not really sure. So it's probably, I think, a sequel to maybe the original Gotham by Gaslight or something. But let me see the stories that. Oh, so we get like, it's a whole little minute 15 trailer that I didn't even watch. Heroes, yep. Elseworld, yep. Gotham by Gaslight. So they're showing some art. Oh wow. So you have like, okay, so what I assume is Catwoman. She's finding a Green Lantern ring. Batman's throwing knives. He has a fucking like comical bomb, like those like a bomb that looks like a fucking bomb, like the round just black thing, like he's throwing that. Let's see. Oh, this looks fire. It's like a Vikings. What is this? Dark Knights of Steel all winter. What the fuck? The art looks crazy. It seems like I don't even know who's. Oh wow. So this seems like a Viking Deathstroke. He has like that looks cool. I'm gonna retweet this. So if you want to go, oh fuck, I'm on my main account. Well, yeah, my main account will be down there too. So if you want to check out my main account, yeah. Oh, so DC versus Vampires World War V. That's cool. So we have like a vampire Damian Wayne and a vampire Batwoman. Batman has a knife and he's putting in work. So cool. All right, yeah, I don't know if it's specifically Damian Wayne, but it's a Robin as a vampire. Let's see, Batman the Barbarian. So it's like a barbarian, and he has like a traditional, like it looks like a bat face as a mask. So it's okay. There's a lot of Batman centric stuff. Is this a Green Lantern? The Green Lantern Dark. What is this? So it seems like it looks like a kid Green Lantern a little bit. Or is it Spectre? I'm not sure on that one. And the last one, let's see. Batman Nightmare. Seems a little futuristic. Okay, we didn't really get any art on that. All right. Cool. A lot of Batman stuff, though. So I think the one I'm least looking forward to is probably the first one, Batman Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age. So that's the first one in June. So, and then Dark Knights of Steel all winter in July. DC versus Vampires World War V, August. Batman the Barbarian, September. Green Lantern Dark, October. Batman Nightmare, November. So yeah, some comic stuff. I think that's the last. So yeah, we're moving on to Tales of the Empire. So these are I think there's 6 episodes and they're about like 15 minutes long. Do I want to? I'm trying to decide if I want to tackle this spoilers or no spoilers. We'll go no spoilers starting out. We'll go no spoilers starting out. Let me pull up my notes. So Star Wars, Tales of the Empire. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I think this is a big, this is a step down from Tales of the Jedi, and I'll explain why. So actually, I'm gonna explain why. So Tales of the Jedi. So basically, this series, Tales of Empire, Tales of the Jedi. It's basically you're taking a look at already established characters and you're shining a new, giving them more depth. Going in depth with shit. And the Tales of the Jedi was about Ahsoka. So Ahsoka being the beginning stages of her life and like towards the ending stages of her life. Not like super ending, but like towards the end of her Jedi path and whatnot. So it's very and then it was about also it was like 3 episodes with her and then 3 episodes with Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn. So it was like we got to see young Qui-Gon, we got to see young Dooku. It gave some like more context with Yaddle, and it showed where the fuck Yaddle went, why she missing, because she was like in a deleted scene and then she wasn't in like episode 3 and whatnot. And it was really well in depth with Dooku and really gave some motivations and reasonings to what he was doing, and it was like super. It was some great character work, and then the narrative, the way it told its story, like actually I have in my notes. It just had so much better structure. Like the first episode was with Ahsoka, and then the next 3 was with Dooku, and the last 2 were Ahsoka. So it was just really well intertwined, and it was different times in the prequel trilogy timeline. It just felt very connected, and it felt like a love letter to the prequels, and it felt like a love letter to the Clone Wars, like this animation and whatnot. And it just felt like a very, very well passionate project. And I just did not get that with Tales of the Empire. I went into this expecting to like it a lot more, and honestly, I really didn't even low-key want to review this, but I put it out there that this was what I was going to be talking about for this episode, and I didn't, want to. If people did go, I don't think anyone really listens to this like yet, but if people did go listen to that or go watch that, I want to follow up on that. But I just expected to like this a lot more. Of course, I didn't expect it to like it as much as Tales of the Jedi, because Dooku is one of my favorite characters in Star Wars, so already that has that going for it. But it just didn't stack up for like storytelling wise, and just the importance of events that it showed. But let's get into some like generalities though about some likes I did like. And that's not everything in this debatable. But the animation, bro, man, bro, what is the like last season of Clone Wars? I always get it confused if it's season 6 or season 7. But whatever it is, man, I fucking love the art style for Clone Wars animation. Like I already had like a decent art style, but like the new man, bro, just takes it to a whole nother level. The animation, the art style, it looks so much more polished, and then the animation is so fucking buttery smooth, bro. The choreography that we got in the fights of that like last season of Clone Wars was chef's fucking kiss, and I think the choreography still, and buttery smooth animation still holds up in Tales of the Empire, and it looks fucking great, bro. The terrain, bro. There's shots in this show that I literally thought like they could be live action Star Wars shots. I'm not joking. Like there's some shots where they're out in space and it, like, you're just getting the black stars and you're getting this huge star destroyer or whatever, with the background of the black stars and stuff. And that I was like, that looks like a movie. Like when it shows shots of the terrain and the ground, it looks so detailed and it looks so convincing, bro. I love the animation in this, and I love the direction of it. Not like, narratively, but it isn't too bad. I'll get into it, but the direction though, just like the camera angles they choose to take, the lighting, the shadows, like all that is superb, bro. Like this was a very very easy on the eyes to watch for sure. When I was teetering out of the narrative and whatnot. What is that's a little bit of a spoiler. Let's see. That's a little bit of a spoiler as well. I mean, there's not a whole lot I can say. Like I said, there's only 6 episodes, 15 minutes each. Like, there's not a whole lot I can say non-spoilerly, but I'm just trying to find some stuff in my notes that I can. So I guess this is not spoilers. So this Tales of the Empire focuses on Barriss Offrey. She like did some, I forgot. I wish I would have knew going in what it was, but she like did some op shit to Ahsoka. And basically, she was like banned from the Jedi Council, and I think her fate in the Clone Wars was kind of up in the air. Like, oh, is she alive, and like what happened to her? And so I think this kind of answers that question. But it's dealing with her, and I feel like her story was interesting in her in the Inquisitors, because she gets recruited to be an Inquisitor, and so that's interesting in itself, and I really like that story. But then the first story that this focuses on, and so it's split right down the middle. Like I was said with Ahsoka, with Tales of the Jedi, it's very well intertwined in the timeline of the prequel trilogy. Like, you go from here, you go back to here, and I feel like I gotta rewatch it, but I feel like it was very like relevant to like where it was jumping in the narrative and whatnot. But this is like just split down straight, like 3-3 for each character. Morgan's in the first half, and then Barriss is in the second half. So Morgan, I didn't even make this connection until like I seen her the notable location where you see her in live action. But she's a fucking character that shows up in one episode of The Mandalorian season 2, which granted, I really like that episode. It's the episode where they have it's the episode where Ahsoka first shows up, and she's helping, Mando and her have their differences, and they end up working together, and they have 2 separate standoffs. And Morgan is the character that Ahsoka has to stand off against and who she fights. Did she kill her? I don't remember. But yeah, so she's just in that, and it just felt like, and granted, and mind you, I didn't dislike Morgan's story, but it's just like this shit's called Tales of the Empire, and we're focusing on Morgan. What? Like, there's so much more interesting shit that they could have focused on, or very or more impactful or narratively impactful shit to the even OG trilogy, bro. Because that's like, where the Empire is full fledged. That could have been way more impactful, bro. I just did not like, it was like, really, this is what we're focusing on. And like I said, her story's not terrible or anything. Like, it shows like so she's it's not really spoiler, it's from the first episode. So she's like she comes from Dathomir, where Darth Maul comes from, and so she's a Night Sister. So it shows the massacre of Dathomir and from like General Grievous and shit. And so Grievous is back, baby. He looks fucking sick as hell. But yeah, it just was like, really, this? And like, it wasn't. I've heard this complaint before, but people say, who's Dave Filoni, that like he just like kind of, with this new Star Wars shit, he's just trying to highlight all his created characters, and like, you get like Ahsoka and whatnot, but Ahsoka's like a fan favorite, so I was like, I don't mind that, and Ahsoka is a cool character, but it's like very focusing on the shit he created, like the Inquisitors, Ahsoka, Morgan, Mandalorians, like during that period and shit. So it's like, like, really, again, like, really, like, come on, man. Like, we could have got some more interesting shit with Palpatine, some interesting shit with Vader, some more interesting shit with the Inquisitors, and maybe even, like, maybe we scratch, because Barris's story is with, like, dealing with getting recruited to the Inquisitors and whatnot. And so, what if, like, we got, like, the 3 episodes was about, like, fucking the main Inquisitor and whatnot. And his, like, a little bit about his life, and like you get his insights and why he's training the people he's training the way, why he's training them the way that they are, and so it's just like, it just felt so unimportant, Morgan shit. Let's see. But yeah, yeah, like I said, I just didn't really like the structure of the narrative compared to Tales of the Jedi. I don't think I really have anything super spoilery. Like I said, the episodes are only 15 minutes. So if you like Clone Wars and like you like the animation and stuff like that, I would check out like the last 3 episodes with Barris, because like I just feel like and I would check out the first episode with. I mean, this shit's a pretty breezy watch. So it's like, if you have the time, just go ahead and knock it all out. Like I said, the Morgan shit isn't terrible, but it just feels like, really, this. But it's just like, what did I say? The bear stuff and the Inquisitor stuff was really interesting. Like I said, I was taking notes on this shit, and I was like actually watching it, so I had to like rewind a couple times. Disney Plus fucking sucks, bro. The rewinding on that shit is like literally makes me want to shoot myself. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I said, so overall, my overall thoughts though, I said could have been more impactful and relevant. This just felt like it wanted to highlight Dave Filoni's characters. Tales of the Jedi felt like a love letter to the prequels and Star Wars, with the way it flowed in and out of the 2 narratives. Tales of the Empire just feels like a Dave Filoni highlight reel of his characters. Yeah. So overall though, just slapping a rating on this before we get into spoilers. There's not like a bunch of spoilers, but I did like Barris's narrative and the shit she went through. So I'll be getting into a little bit of that. But just slapping a rating on this, bro. I'm just like weighing out the bad and the good in my head. The animation was super solid. I just didn't like the structure, and like half of the show felt like pointless. And okay, when I say pointless, I don't mean in ways like, I feel like the things that it showed about the Empire could have been shown through other ways and through other characters, Like, I didn't feel like they showed anything that wasn't already known about the Empire. Oh, we know they're fucking scumbags. We know, and it wasn't anything new. It was just like more on this character that I don't care about at all, I'm like, whose fucking fan favorite was she? And I guess, like, a lot of Star Wars characters do get a lot of minor Star Wars characters do get a lot of backstory and whatnot, and whatever the case. But this just felt like so whatever, or Morgan shit. But yeah, to slap a rating on it, probably like at a 6.5. Not gonna lie. Yeah. It just felt like a disappointment from Tales of the Jedi, which I liked a lot. And granted, it had one of my favorite characters. Oh, 2 of my favorite characters going in. I forgot Anakin was in there too. But it was about Dooku, So I was like, I fuck with Dooku tough. But yeah, let's just jump into some spoilers though. So yeah, like I said, 6.5 on that thing. If you got the time, I would say check it out. But if you don't got the time, just check out the last three. And if you don't got the time at all, you're not missing anything crazy, to be honest. I would highly suggest watching Tales of the Jedi though. That's crazy. This fucking game of Tales of the Jedi endorsement over the show that I fucking am talking about. Funny. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, like I have some stuff for like Morgan shit, but it's just like it's so like whatever. I don't even feel like getting into it. I would say like about Morgan's arc though, I really like the setup for it. That's what I would say. I should have said that in pre-spoilers, but this I feel like Morgan's story, why it doesn't work for me is because it doesn't have enough time to breathe. And I don't mean like a whole fucking show on her, but like if these episodes are maybe 30 minutes, like, you know, all three of her episodes are 30 minutes long instead of 15. That's adding what? 15, 30, like 45 extra minutes runtime to, you know, flesh her out more. It would have worked a lot more. It just felt like, you know, the shit that like what really worked in, you know, Tales of the Jedi, it's good on its own, but it really works if you know the lore and you know the prequels and whatnot. And so knowing the lore, it's able and it's expecting its audience to know the lore, which, you know, is art. You can argue if that's bad or not, but I feel like for this type of show and what it's going for, it's not. It plays heavily on the lore. So when you watch the show, you could just pop into a spot and you know, okay, we're in this timeline. Okay, these characters are dead. These characters, you know, around. We know what's happening. With like Morgan, like I feel like it kind of has to set up a lot of stuff that we just don't really get a lot fleshed out to make it truly impactful. And maybe this could have made me care about the Morgan character if there was a more fleshing out of it. But it's just like still kind of whatever. Like she gets a brief appearance in Mandalorian. And granted, it's like for a whole episode, but then you know, you get this. It's like it's just not enough to me, and just didn't have enough time to cook. And maybe you could say the same for a little bit of Barris's story too, but I feel like that's more of a we get the context from Clone Wars. We get, you feel me? We don't have to. It's not like we just I feel like it just works better for Barris, and like it works way more in Tales of the Jedi. A question. I think did Morgan was this insinuating that Morgan designed Vader's ship? I'm not sure. The design I couldn't tell by the design, but it kind of looks similar. Yeah, it wasn't literally till the second episode when they get like to the location where they show up in the Mandalorian season 2 where I was like, oh shit, this is the lady from Mando season 2. There was a really cool alien design in Morgan's episode. He was like this, felt like this like monkey like thing, and not look wise, but like I feel like he fought like a monkey, and like he has this really cool curved sword, and like he had a really interesting fighting style. And I was like, is this a new species? Probably not, but it's my first time seeing it. Thrawn, I forgot. So he shows up in Morgan's episode, and I think he was the highlight for her episodes. It's funny, he was the highlight of her episodes for me. I just love, because I'm not exposed to a whole lot of Thrawn, so I like when he shows up. Still gotta finish fucking Ahsoka, man. I just love his calculatedness, and just his line delivery is so great, bro. Love his line delivery a lot. So like, just so can't describe it. So fucking so like slimy and shady. Let's see. Yeah, so this is Barris's story. I wish I would have knew more about it before, or I wish I would have got a recap or whatever the case before I went into this. But like, she snaked Ahsoka or something. So I really liked, and so she got her Jedi title stripped from her. But like, you know, she's still a Jedi, but she got that shit stripped from her. And so during Order 66, she's spared because the clones don't recognize her as a Jedi in their programming, so they don't have the urge to kill her, like, you know, on sight like the other Jedi. So I felt like that was really interesting. You know, compared to Morgan's episodes, it starts off Barris's episode just instantly felt important. Like, it felt like I was instantly learning new worthwhile knowledge about Star Wars through her episodes. Where Morgan's, it started out like that with, like, you seeing more Grievous and the Separatist attack on Dathomir, and then it just kind of teeters out, and it feels like the Star Wars universe wasn't really expanding. Like, it was just expanding this character, and I could be, am I wrong about that? I'm trying to think, can that be argued? Like, am I missing a more important theme in her narrative of episodes? I'm not sure. Yeah, like I said, like, I'm here for the character work. Like, always cool seeing a deeper look into the Empire. Oh yeah, this had some really good shots in it. I said I love the castle shot in episode on the water in episode 4. It's around 7 minutes. I don't know specifically what that shot is. I don't. Yeah. Oh, the Grand Inquisitor. I said he's pretty cool and ghoulish. Yeah, I love like it. Like I said with Thrawn, just love his line delivery. Love his love his vibe about him. Love to hate him in a way. And then also there's like a really good shot of the Inquisitor base. And so I think this is the first like look of the Inquisitor base on the water, and it's being like built. So it's not like fully fledged yet, and I think so. But yeah, there's a really cool shot of the Inquisitor base on the water. Oh fuck yes, bro. Vader is in this, bro. I just had a big stupid ass grin on my face when Vader walks in. His new character model. Oh man. Woo-hoo-hoo! That shit is some gas, bro. He looks so cold. I need. Imagine if we got like a Vader animated series, just like on him doing shit in the Empire, him hunting down Jedi. And I wanted like a movie like that, or like maybe a show, but like an animated series on that with like the Clone Wars style. You got me locked in with that. He looks fucking phenomenal in Tales of the Empire. Man, I love his character design so much. Oh yeah, does it? I think it looks even better than maybe. Yeah, I was gonna say Clone Wars season 7 or season 6, whatever the last season is. Because I think we briefly did see him with like the crash ship and he found Ahsoka's lightsaber and stuff. I think it looks even better than that, man. Oh, as I said in my notes, I would take a whole show of Barris doing Inquisitor shit, or just the Inquisitors in general. But I didn't know if that was like kind of redundant of Rebels, because I know, that's where they make their. Is that where they make their debut, or they're at least really highlighted in that show? So I don't know how much they show of them in Rebels. So maybe what I'm asking for is in Rebels. So yeah, I don't know about that. And then I loved how Barris was like still somewhat good of heart. Like that's why, and it really bugged me that I forgot why she like snaked Ahsoka. Because it's like, yeah, like she just shows like she's not, like in her actions and every action she does, like she just shows she's not ready to be fully with the dark side shenanigans. And I love like how we get looks at the dark side and we get like the Grand Inquisitor, like he's like, they make excuses for themselves on why they justified in doing this, like trying to convince themselves that Jedi are like, and the Jedi weren't always all the way good either. But like, Jedi are like they're scum of the earth, they're scourge to the galaxy, and just like, well, this is why we're hunting them down and fucking, doing op shit, just doing crazy fucking imperial shit. I love we got to look at some of the other members, Inquisitors. I think we saw like Merrick from like Ahsoka, and then we saw like the guy from Tales of the Jedi. And then I like how we saw like their interrogations method. So of like Barris, she goes to a planet and she's sent to find a Jedi with one of the Inquisitor sisters. And I like that we got to see their different interrogation methods. Like the other sister was very in the dark side, very I'm gonna put some pressure on your neck, and Barris was like off to the side, like talking to a little kid, like trying to get her to tell him the information, or tell her the information on the Jedi and whatnot. And then Barris's turn to actually like back to a Jedi was actually pretty cool. I don't remember what specifically happens. I just have that in my note. But what I kind of didn't, it felt like it's jumped super ahead to Barris's like end of her life, just to like cap it off and like put it into that story, just for the sake of it. And then also I love it is, so it just kind of it did, I feel like, need a little bit more time to breathe. But then I also I liked how they had Barris acknowledge that the way that Jedi were abducting kids and turning them into kid soldiers, and that's what one of the things I meant by like the Jedi aren't all good. They were literally making fucking kid soldiers and taking them away from their homes and whatnot. So yeah, I like how they acknowledge that though. Did they acknowledge that in any other Star Wars like movies? Not sure. But yeah, I think that's really all my notes on this. Like I said, bro, I went in like wanting to like this a lot more, but it felt like a big step down from Tales of the Jedi, which I liked a lot. But yeah, I got a fucking shake, so that's all I'm gonna talk about with that. But yeah, we're gonna go on the weekly watch list, and I have quite a bit. Fucking hell. I mean, not quite a bit, but I have quite a bit of music. But I'll leave that to the end. I still need to watch that Spider-Man horror film. So we're in the weekly watch list now. Sorry. I still need to watch that Spider-Man horror film, The Spider, with the Walking Dead star Chandler Riggs, aka Carl. and it's only a couple minutes long, so I just gotta just check that out. Comics. Like I said, Ultimate X-Men's coming out this tomorrow as of recording. If you're listening to this on the day it drops, then today. Where's my phone? I'm trying to. Let me see what I've been reading. I've been just trying to catch up with Not catch up. I'm making a video, so I've been trying to read a bunch of comics on Dupe. So yeah, that's what all I've been reading. But before there's some fun stories if you are interested in reading some Dupe comics. Wolverine X Dupe. I feel like it was pretty fun. I haven't really been reading anything too much crazy. I've been just, like I said, reading Dupe comics. But the music side of shit, I've been going hard. Not really. Whoa, let's turn the volume off before I actually click something like I just did. Almighty So 2 release. So Chief Keef's long anticipated album. I really, really like this. So, man, just seeing Chief Keef grow as an artist and just, bro, it's so good. Definitely check this out. Let's see. Bro, some of my favorite tracks, and these are probably some of my favorite Chief Keef tracks in general. Believe, bro, the beat on Believe is fucking insane. Definitely a contender for best beat of the year when we get to the Den 10 awards at the end of the year. I really like Drifting Away. I really like that. He has a song with Sexy Red. That's pretty good. Grape Trees. Well, here's all the songs I added to my playlist. So Almighty Intro, Nefnem, Treat Myself, Jesus Skit, Jesus Feet Lil Nar, 2 Trim, Grape Trees, 1, 2, 3, Drifting Away, Prince Charming, and Believe. And so that's 16 songs. And so that's out of the 16, I didn't add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out of that 5, one of them is already a song I had in my playlist because it was released a while ago. So really out of 4. So out of 16. So that's pretty fucking great strike rate in my opinion. Fucking bro, his artistry, bro, the skits on this album were so fucking funny. He like goes into I think it might be Michael Blackson, but he's like talking about fucking black people getting reparations, and he's like, we have a problem. The lighter you are, the less you get. He said, all you light-skinned niggas out there, Chris Brown, Drake, and he like listed some more. T.I., he said, oh, you niggas, you get $8 and you get $8 and some other shit. And he's like, oh, the dark-skinned niggas, Chief Keef, fucking, who else did he? 50 Cent, Rick Ross. He was like, all them niggas, they're getting $250 million and 55 acres of land. Bro, it was just so fucking funny. And there's this other skit where it's just flaming the fuck out of Chief Keef. He said, you barbecue smoked roach looking ass or some shit like that, bro. Had me crying at work, bro. No cap. So the skits on this really funny, which, you know, you don't see that a whole lot. And when they are, they're usually just like really skippable or whatever. And this was not the case. Let's see. Oh yeah. So fucking Lucky, he tweeted a while ago. Is this deleted now? I forgot. I forgot to bring this up. But he tweeted, biggest problem in my life is choosing what songs for Gemini. Or no, wait, what? I think it's Gemini. And what songs for me? Oh yeah. So I think that's his next album. And then what songs for me and V's album. So I guess he has an album with fucking V's on the way. That's pretty cool. I'm not like the biggest fan of Lucky. Like his shit's definitely cool, but it's just I'm not. I need to give his music more of a chance, to be honest. But like I said, not the biggest fan. So yeah, that would be pretty lit. And then this new artist called Dave Blunts. He's like, he had some shit on Twitter that like it was like, you know, one of those freestyles and shit that I liked a lot. He was saying some really fucking off the wall shit, but yeah, and so I checked out his music on Spotify, and I like his flow. And what I could describe to, and he has a deeper bag than this, or he has his own style in this. But he sounds like a combination of like Trippie Redd and Juice WRLD. But like I said, he has his own bag in that style. So it's like that was just like saying like what to relate it to. But I checked out his songs, and they're just really like not like meme songs a little bit, but like he kept talking about this girl Madison, and she was like prostituting on him and cheating on him and fucking his homies and shit. I don't know, bro. It was like super jokey and stuff. But regardless though of the jokey shit, I seen like from the Twitter clip and then from checking out his songs, like he does have an actual like, if he got serious, bro, he could definitely be a legitimate like solid artist. So I'm definitely keeping eyes on him. Dave Blunt's. I added what song? I added a song to him. Juki Lope. Yeah, I added that to my playlist. So go check that out. And then I retweeted his. I quoted it on my main page. That freestyle. So if you want to check out that freestyle, which gives you, I feel like, a more idea of his like serious rapping a little bit. Yeah, go check that out. And fuck. Okay. Actually, there's not a whole lot. We got some new tracks. In the air, G Nipsey and Skrilla. It's probably one of my favorite Skrilla verses for sure. Really like that a lot. I haven't been talking about like the Kendrick and Drake beef, but I added Not Like Us to the playlist. Freaky ass nigga, yeah, 69 God. Freaky ass nigga, yeah, 69 God. OV ho, say OV ho. Yeah, that's a bop. But then I tap back in with F versus J intro, and this is a Fabulous and Jadakiss collab tape. And basically on this, the whole album they are talking like they're fucking Fabulous. He's Freddie and Jadakiss is Jason, and basically, he's talking like on F versus J intro, they're talking about like they're Freddy versus Jason in the raps and shit, and it's really fun. But Jadakiss is more committed to that than Fabulous. He like doesn't really bring up any related Freddy Krueger bars, but Jadakiss does a really good job at relating it to Jason and whatnot. But I used to listen to this like when I was younger with my dad, and fucking it made me create a category of rediscovered songs. Like I just been bumping this like on repeat for not repeat, but I always, every time I pop in my music, it's one of the first songs I start with. But what's really, really fucking funny about this, like you get the F versus J intro, which is like the first song on the album, which is like fucking has Jadakiss. It ends, oh bro, that the beat, when its beat switches to Jadakiss's part is fucking, beat is so goddamn good. But he's over here like talking like he's Jason, like he's like, I crushed your Adam's apple with the vice grips. He is like, zip you up in your sleeping bag before I strangle you, and then da 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 before I mangle you. Like, he's talking like he's Jason. Like he's like, I reside in Cape Crystal or Lake Crystal and whatever. Like he's talking like he's fucking Jason. But then the next song is like a fucking club song, like we in the club, da da da, featuring Future, and it was just a funny ass switch up, bro. That shit's hella funny. What is the song called actually? Let me go to the album. The next song, Stand Up with Future. So it was just a funny switch up. I think there was one more song. Oh, Certified. So this is actually an old song, but DJ S, like he put a new beat on it, and I think he did it on as well on Tron's a song of off Tron's old Hood Rat DJ S mix. And this song Hood Rat, it's on there on the album twice, and it has a different beat on it. And DJ S's his beat made me like the song a lot more. And so I guess he did the same thing with this song Certified, which I do like a lot. And this new verse, and it just gives me a new reason to like it. I don't know. It's interesting how like a different beat just drastically changes the vibe of a song, and it's like still works, But yeah, I think I've been sloughing on Pondering My Orb, not gonna lie, and I'm gonna do it again this week because I got a fucking dip, bro. Actually went a little bit over than I was supposed to, and I got a dip. So yeah, I mean, just lock in, bro. I'm me going forward, just trying to cut out the excuses. Like I said, I got a lot more time on my hands for various reasons. Bad breakup. Funny, not funny. What's it called? But yeah, got a lot more time. God damn, that just made me really fucking sad. Jesus Christ. But yeah, a lot more times on my hands. So I don't know, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. I'm able to lock in, bro. There is these should be coming out strictly on Monday morning. Boom. Like there should be no excuse. Got some ideas for some other quick videos that I can like get or put out in the meantime while I work on my longer stuff. And so yeah, man, just gotta lock in, bro. And I'll probably have more on Pondering My Orb next week about kind of like relationships and shit. I don't know. Tough man. But yeah, that's it for this week. Oh, next week episode, what comes out next week? Oh, X-Men 97 is wrapping up, so we're gonna review that. And yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, outro, duh, Dennis. So follow me on the socials. I'm most active on Twitter at DS2 Smooth. Link will be below. But then also follow the Twitter for this podcast on there as well, so you can get like updates if I forget to say what we're talking about for next week. I'll put that up there. If there's a delay in the podcast, I'll put that up there. Try to, like I said in the show, I retweeted a couple things that were relating to the show, and if you followed it, you could look at the stuff that I was talking about and whatnot. But yeah, go follow me on there. Follow the main YouTube channel at DS2 Smooth. I didn't say that for this week. God damn, I released my Spider-Man video, Ultimate Spider-Man video. So finally released that. So go check that out too. So anything else? No. I think that's it. I think that's the episode. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next week. Everyone have a good one. Twos.